Closer. Hey guys, what's going on, buddy? Buddy. Hi, Felicia.
I don't think it works
You need
like
that
that.
patch, bro. You need that patch, bro. You need to get a hold of that patch. What's going on? We are live, 10:30 Eastern, the best time. Standard time. It's standard for a reason. It's the best one. Hello, Gun Channels. That's right. Hello, Gun Channels. Hello, YouTube. Got a couple of fine panelists. I think Pickle, this is the first time you've been on, right?
It's very well possible. I don't remember.
Tastes so vinegary and salty. Pickles. Yeah. Usually something horrendous happens, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I was there when that happened."
With a touch of dill.
Yeah, and a little bit of dill. That's right.
Oh, what's your dill?
Seems like every
hashtag.
That's right. I was going to say, it seems like every other show or so, something happens. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that happened." Like a month later, you're like, "Oh yeah." Yeah. So we'll go through the. I don't have a whole lot of people watching. I know there's a couple other shows going on. Foreign and Domestic had a full panel. They're probably still going. Gun Gals was working hard over there too. So we got Grimm's out there, Jorge's out there, Clint's out there, Ape, you're out there. Warsaw, how you doing, Warsaw? We'll wait for C4's in there. We'll wait for Scott P79's out there. What's going on? I don't know. It's Night Strike. We'll see what happens here. In the meantime, we'll talk to you guys, see what's going on. Pickle, what's happening, buddy?
I just got home a little bit ago. I had a 4.5-mile obstacle course race today for Spartan. So I'm just vegging out and not doing as little as humanly possible right now.
Yeah, find a comfortable position and relax, right? Good for you, man. Ape, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. We haven't seen you for a little while. You working working those late hours.
Working those extended extra fancy hours.
Mm.
But I got
those communist hours.
No, I'm getting paid for it. So no, but since it's been the first couple days off I've had in over a month, went and saw the Bohemian Rhapsody movie. It was okay.
I watched it.
I've been very apprehensive. I love Queen. I'm a big Queen fan. And I don't know, man. I just feel like it's never going to live up to expectations, you know? So what didn't you love about it?
I don't know. It's just an okay movie. It was less about Queen as a group and more kind of about the life and times of Freddie Mercury. But I will say the first time they performed Bohemian Rhapsody, or at least the first act of it on screen, I did get some goosebumps. So
yeah. There's the Queen tribute band. The Queen Experience or something. I forget what it's called. There's a guy named, his last name's Martel, that it's actually like an official band. Like it's who is it?
Mark Martel.
Mark Martel. He's awesome. He's amazing, man. I just stumbled upon him, on YouTube one day. I was listening to some music, I think I was listening to I put the Live Aid concert on. Went from Wembley Stadium when Queen played, and that was one of the suggested things. I clicked on it. I was like, wow, he is really, really good. Very interesting to watch. And I mean, if you look at some of the other lead singers that have filled in for bands like Journey, like the Arnell guy is great, but this dude's good. So David, if one of you guys have David's email, shoot him a link. He said he's down. I think we got room here. If you guys have it, I don't have it. I can get it from him later. If one of you guys want to send him a link, go ahead. Yeah. Yep. Gizzard, what's happening, buddy boy?
Man, this is just the highlight of my weekend. I tell you what.
See, Gizzard says he doesn't drink, but I swear to God, he must start drinking at like 5 because by 10:30, he's wasted enough to say stuff like that.
Well, it started out, I got warmed up on the Gun Snobs chat, and then I come in here for, the finishing act. And so hopefully you can live up, you can live up to your warm-up act there. So
yeah, I sent him a link. I sent Snob a link, and he said, "Oh, I'm on Gun Gals right now." So some of the big shots are over there at Gun Gals.
I didn't think they.
I wasn't on
Gun Gals.
That's what I said. I wasn't allowed on Gun Gals. I couldn't get on the panel. It's pay to play.
Whatever floats your boat, man. I don't judge.
Mm-hmm. It's pay to play. Those guys must be on their Patreon. They take care of their patrons better than me.
That is right. Thanks for the invite, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I let all of my fans on the show. Both of them.
Only the first 9.
And even a few of your haters.
That's 9 more than I got. So there's plenty of room.
Only the first 9, but if you want to be the 10th, call 1-900 Midnight Range TM.
And remember, if you do not get on, feel free to send all hate mail to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com.
That's right.
I'm always
Obnoxious one says it. There you go. Yeah, pay to play. Just not paying me. Obnoxious one says his limpy linguini ankles. Yeah, that's right. Uh-oh. What do you got there, Sarge? What is that shirt? What'd your shirt say?
It's a bullet shirt. It's all about
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. I like that.
It's powder charge.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting it to say Bullet Key Justice.
You missed my comment.
Huh. I was Rami Malek's movement coach for the movie. That's right. I don't know what movement you're talking about, but I can only imagine.
It's the one that threw you up under the prep table this week.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. I'm sure everybody wants to know. I did have one or two people actually seem concerned, but most people were like, "Man, yeah, he ate shit. Good for him." Grim, what's going on?
Not much at all. Just hanging out. That's it.
I got my Grim mug out. So.
All right. See, there you go. Where's that little water?
I think we're out of little waters. Little guy drinks them all up. A little bug. You know how they are, man. They're always stealing your stuff.
Oh man, they eat
rocking
everything.
the Aquapods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
better than the Tide Pods.
Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, if you're gonna do any pods, that's it.
Eat me out of house and home here. It's all right. I'll raid their candy. I'll raid their Halloween candy in just a minute.
There you go.
I forgot about
just
that.
you just checking it, right? Oh, I gotta check your candy.
I
Make
gotta
sure you don't
check
get
the
any
candy. Gotta
just
check
need to tell
the
them, hey, just need to tell the kids, I'm sorry, but Mr. Paul Harrell on YouTube told me that anything that sticks in your teeth, I have to take from you. So, yoink.
That's true.
Well, that's where you have to
specifically
check the Reese's Cups and the Snickers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Paul Harrell scammed us all. He started with a gun video and then scammed us into watching a tutorial on tooth care. That bastard.
Yep.
Hashtag Paul scammed me. Yeah. Night Strike, what's going on, bud? How's it going, man?
Just working on GunTube and, trying to live the life, but not at all.
Sound like me.
Right, man. Go for bronze, buddy.
Trying to live the life, but not.
Don't even aim for bronze. Just go straight to aluminum.
No,
There you go. Aluminium.
I'm going for copper at least because I want the shine.
Well, you just get yourself some Mother's Mag polish and it'll shine anything right up.
Well,
Midnight uses on his head.
Slap a little ballistol on there. You're good to go.
Ballistol. Yeah, like I get ballistol in the South.
I can't even get it up here.
It's
I don't think it actually exists. I think it's just stuff that people show off in videos, but it's not real.
Ballistol?
Yeah, I'm convinced. I've never seen it in real life. I don't think it exists.
Only people that shop at Dick's Sporting Goods use Ballistol.
I can order it online, but yeah.
I don't have Ballistol. I do have this ball stall, though.
Oh, I don't want to see your ball stall. Oh,
Ballistol.
Yeah, see,
that's not.
Stall.
Yeah, no, that's just a can that people show up. They put a sticker on it, just says Ballast. The stuff's not real, though. It's not real.
What?
That's just a can of WD-40 underneath there. So
yeah, this does not smell anything like WD-40.
WD-40. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Here you go. This stuff works. This stuff works really good.
Actually, I'm going to call you out, Travis.
Why is that? Who's calling me out? Call me out for what? Is this CLP again?
No, the other Travis.
What's up? King Travi.
Why aren't you doing more videos on GunTube?
My second in command.
Who's not putting videos on GunTube? Me?
You're not doing any live stuff on GunTube. Live is
I haven't done it yet. I'm internet retarded just about. So I'm just trying to keep up with what I'm doing now.
We've noticed.
Yeah, I know. You guys sure as hell don't show up for my technical support. So,
Nice, Strike. Why don't you do a tutorial video?
Here's what you need.
Internet and out of freezer and fridge retarded.
I was just gonna say what Travis said. Do a how-to. Do a little how-to. That's really good.
Yes.
And that's
how-to videos are on the docket. It's just getting it quiet so I can record the videos. That's the challenge.
I know it's tough.
Go outside. Go out in your garage, man. Come on. Keeping it quiet to record the video. Well, go out in the woods. Don't you have a forest out back of your house? Go out there and sit. Nice nature sounds going on, and be like, "Hey, this is Night Striking. Today I'm gonna tell you how to create a video."
They're building the sheriff's department across the street from my house. All you hear was construction.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying, if you could do a quick tutorial on what programs we got to use, you might get more people over there live streaming. I mean, instead of trying to figure it out on your own and making sure you run the right programs and stuff, especially if you want to broadcast on multiple platforms, it would help a lot.
Well, if you want to broadcast on multiple platforms, that's different. Okay, that's a different thing entirely. That's another video. But as far as GunTube, I'll show people how to do GunTube. It's going to take some effort, and you know about me and effort. I like to put at least half of it in.
So just to give us a quick little summary, can I just go over to GunTube and just click go live, and I'll just go live? Is that all it's going to take?
Exactly that easy.
It is.
Where on GunTube?
Yeah, just on GunTube.
It is not that easy.
No, you got to trade in your challenge coin. The challenge coin.
No, I've got 20 of them, so I'm cool.
No, basically.
Yeah, I think so. And then I got my 35-sided dice too. I can roll that, and
if you've used OBS Studio before, all you do is you press the go live button. You type in the title and description of the video, and you copy the RTMP URL and the authorization key. And you put that into OBS, and you go. That's all it is.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you want to add people to your live stream, you'll have to use something like Google Hangouts or another platform that allows you to have multiple people in a conversation.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because while you can try and use GunTube Hangout, the issue is the title is tentative on that, and I don't necessarily want to get sued by Google just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you just call it like GunTube chat or something.
I could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Patriot.
Yeah, GunTube chat might be better than GunTube and chill, but
yeah.
Hey, you might get more viewers if you call it that. So call it free beer and chicken, and you never know who's going to show up. So yeah.
Whoa.
No, then I'll get the wrong elements. No, thank you.
Oh, get more riffraff than us, huh? Yeah.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll put that either on Patreon or just on the GunTube website, and you guys can vote on a poll what we should call the Hangouts.
Free beer and chicken. I'm telling you, that's where it's at.
Obnoxious one says GunTube group ups. I don't think that's going to work.
No.
That's weird.
Better than GunTube
group ups. That sounds kind of weird.
Well,
how about Gun Live or something?
Gun Life Live.
There you go. Yeah. I know.
Or just GunTube Live. Why not GunTube Live?
Yeah. GTL, baby. I'm gonna go GTL. It's like GTA.
Something simple. It's got to be something simple. But it should. I think it should have GunTube in it for sure. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to brand yourself.
Freedom Live. There you go. Freedom Live. Freedom lives live. There you go.
So what's going on, Patriot? What's new with you? Still got the blind challenges coming in? Patriot?
My connection's pretty bad.
That's okay. Give it a shot. If you can, go ahead. Still got some blind challenges coming in. I know they were trying to get Yankee to do one, right?
Oh, those guys are too big, you know. But yeah, there's probably, I don't know, 10, 11 spots, 12 spots left. So I'm shooting to get those done, and then do the drawing on Rick's Life as I See It, probably on his Wednesday show, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So that means if you've done it, you gotta go sub him, and then you'll know when it comes up. But and I've been dropping some videos over on the dark side, even though Ghost tries to use that all the time. But my channel on Gun Channels, the dark side, trying to get it figured out, But Night Strike, he's too busy.
He's too big. Too big right now.
He's one of those
living the
guys.
big money internet rock star life.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wish.
By the way, Nice Rick, we're moving in next week, so get ready.
Okay. Yeah.
Show up with a sleeping bag and my MREs, yeah.
So that's about it. Thanks for the invite.
You can have the attic, Travis.
Yeah, that works.
I don't know. You get Travi in your attic; they're really hard to get rid of. I mean, you got to use like gas and glue traps.
Well,
The occasional sticker on a string.
You got
If you get a bunch of
It's all John Goodman.
Don't feed them
It's like
after midnight.
It's an infestation. Exactly. You don't want to feed me
Well,
after
is
midnight.
it
'cause it's pretty
midnight
ugly,
local
so.
time or midnight during
Central,
his time?
Central time, because again,
That's
the
the
world
danger
revolves
to
around
it,
Central
to it
time.
all.
So.
Well,
I thought it revolved around Greenwich Mean.
if you get Travis up in your attic, don't worry, you'll have gas up there.
Oh, jeez. Depends on which one you're talking about. So,
Just don't light a match and switch everything over to LED bulbs.
There you go.
Yeah, just in case.
Don't feed them Taco Bell.
Yeah,
after midnight. After midnight. Yeah. That's
right.
And at no time
That's
whatsoever should you
At
feed
any
him
time.
McDonald's sweet tea.
Oh no! Yeah, now that's good stuff, man. That's
You'll have him running around in
it's like
circles
liquid
up there.
candy. Liquid candy, man. McDonald's sweet tea is so good.
Don't even
Hey,
get me
before
started
I
on
lose my
sweet
connection,
tea.
midnight, I want to bring up that Oscar Mayer Wiener
Yeah,
travesty that's been going on.
I saw it.
Hey, don't put my
flagged
name
it.
in there. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I flagged him, and I really let him have it over there on Twitter. I know you guys don't do that stuff, but yep. So you should talk about that too. You're getting kickbacks or what it is with that.
I'm not getting nothing, man.
That showed up on my feed too. Yeah, the Oscar Mayer official
I ain't getting
declaration.
I ain't getting no hot dog money.
But
So
your
they're-
tireless effort to promote it as a sandwich.
Yeah, they're trying to have everybody talk them out of it.
Dude, it's me between bread. It's a sandwich. Case closed.
I mean, as long as you're not looking at that propaganda that G-Web's put up on my gun channels page. That son of a bitch.
The hashtag hot dog sandwich or whatever. Is that
Hot dog is not a sandwich.
Hot dog is not a I saw that. Man, what a kick in the face, you know? He's got the keys in the house. He just wants to open your blinds.
I know. He's like, sure, I'll help you out with your channel. Here, let me get you set up. Bam,
Yep.
propaganda, bullshit, lies,
Yep.
lies.
Well,
Horrible.
hot dogs.
Fake news. Fake news.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible.
Yeah, but what if somebody comes into your restaurant and asks you for a hot dog?
We have hot dogs. We do them.
Are they on your appetizers or are they on?
We do them at the bar.
sandwich
We do them as a bar, like bar food only, like for happy hour. You can come in and they do like it's just a real
Dress them up
simple.
a little bit.
Where do you
we've
find
got
them on the menu.
It's not. It's just a bar. It's just a bar menu, so it's just a listing.
Just one.
So, but it's all like apps. So yeah, it's kind of like an appetizer, you know.
So you don't do custom hot dogs with custom toppings or anything?
Well, this one has bacon and kimchi, and then we do a sriracha, like a Dijonaise, or a spicy Dijonaise on the side, and sriracha ketchup on the side. So spicy ketchup. So yeah, they're fucking good. And we do them in a little potato, like a toasted potato roll, and they're just a couple of bucks.
Kimchi?
Kimchi is a
pickled cabbage.
Yeah, like
it can be a variety of vegetables though, because I had it at a Korean restaurant that had a kimchi bar, and everything was the fermented stuff, and it was carrots and it was cabbage and it was
scallion. Usually see scallion in it.
You just bury it in the ground and leave it for a month.
Traditionally they put it into clay pots and they bury it, and it it does ferment. And it gets like real sour and vinegary, but there's a lot of salt in it. They use it's pretty heavily salted usually, so it doesn't. It ferments, but it doesn't like spoil, if that makes sense. It doesn't, it's not dangerous because of the salt and vinegar that's in it. Just like a pickle, just like you. It's like California kimchi.
A fermented ham.
Yeah.
Oof.
Sarge, did we do you? Did we?
You did not.
I did not. Go ahead, buddy. What's up?
He probably doesn't want you to do him.
I went and saw the Queen movie as well yesterday, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
That Mark Martell, some of the vocals that they use are him. He did a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was reading about it.
No, he should, man. I'll tell you what, he's dead on, man. He sounds just like Freddie Mercury.
It was it got a little dark at times, but that's how it was. And you're talking about it was Freddie Mercury was kind of the star. Well, it was Brian Mays, the founder and guitar player. He's the one that made the movie, so I guess that's the way he saw it. So I think
now did they take it all the way up until his death?
They took it to Wembley.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was. He knew he had it. He knew he was sick, but he didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, but nobody else did.
You need to watch it. I don't want to reveal any more of it, but you need to watch it where it starts coming together at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And you see how other factors outside the band played a huge part in steering things different ways for their own gain. It was it's pretty good to watch. It really is.
Yeah.
And the music and the footage where they're playing the music, they did a really good job making it look real.
Yeah. So is it all original? Is it all original music or
what I read
or some and some?
Not, what I read was they took original music. They took recordings that weren't released, just all the other takes. They took live performances. They took some stuff with this Mark Martell guy. They put all this stuff together to kind of make it new and make it what they were playing, and it was really well done. If you like Queen, if you're a Queen fan, you will love the music in it. You will absolutely love the music. They did a really good job. They kind of made a new version of almost everything kind of for the movie. I mean, I don't know really how to put it. They said it was a mix of live, unreleased recordings, and original recordings. They just kind of morphed it all together. They did good.
Very neat. Cool. Travis, what's going down?
No, not much, man. Just had a busy weekend, and I don't know. I'm hoping we're supposed to get rain for the next couple of days. I hope it dries up. I want to go get that Real Greasy 9S out there and play with it a little bit. But no, it's getting kind of cold up here in Nebraska too, so we're getting chilly. So you might see some snow in the videos by the end of the week. I don't know, but otherwise, I'm doing great, man. I appreciate the invite, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's cut back to David Bowling, Kingpin. What's going on, man? Popped in there.
Hey, thanks for the invite, man. How's everybody doing?
Oh, not a whole lot. I'm doing good. What's going on in your channel?
Yeah, I did my giveaway today, so congratulations to anybody who won. And, give a big shout out to Patriot. He won the first prize, and he decided to defer to somebody else. So that was a pretty stand-up thing from him. So I appreciate that.
And you noticed I won the fourth one too. Yeah, I passed both of them on.
What?
Oh, so you okay. I caught all the other names, but I didn't know you were Early Watch Michigan too.
Yeah, well, I thought you did, and then afterwards, and I felt bad. So yeah.
All right, cool.
I was just helping you out before anybody started commenting. So, and I didn't realize I would have won. So
Yeah, I was getting a kick out of all the other names. Calaveras did the same thing, and I thought it was pretty funny, but I didn't realize that you were early watch as well. That one snuck by me.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that. I wasn't trying
No problem, man.
I wasn't trying to smooge in on the flag. So.
Nah, but you're welcome to it if you want it, man. But if you still want to pass it on to somebody, just pick another name from the list. Well, now pick 2 names from the list, and I'll just give it to them.
Okay. I have to look at your list. I don't.
All right. Yep. Hold on here. Dog's gonna bark. Mother-in-law's home.
Yep.
And
David,
I didn't even
dog?
get the.
That sounded like a purse.
Well, she's small like a purse. She's a little yapper. Little yapper. She's bigger than RL's dog. RL's got a little Yorkie too, his little tactical pocket dog. And ours is a little chubbo, but she's still yappy. Her and the other one. We have a Chug too, a Chihuahua Pug mix, and they both like to let you know they know
and
you're
there's
here.
got to be one ugly dog.
No, she's not.
Yorkies are the
she's
best
really
dogs.
cute.
No, I meant the Pug and Chihuahua.
Picture it didn't happen. He's going to get the dog.
Mm-hmm. Pug Wawa.
My dog got away from my oldest son last night, and he managed to chase it near where they're tearing down the old house and managed to step on a board with a nail out of it.
Oh,
sticking out of it.
The dog or your son?
My son.
Oof.
So luckily he didn't come out the top. Hey, he's back.
This is Macy.
Tetanus time.
This is our Macy. We've had her she's getting a little old. she's diabetic. We have to give her a little shot every day for insulin. And she's losing her eyesight. She can't see much anymore.
Aww.
But she's our sweet girl. Hey,
you should have fed her all those table scraps, Travis.
Look at her.
Oh, it's all that sugar chicken.
Well, yeah, she just she was probably diabetic for quite a while. You know what I mean? Started to. We've never really fed them anything bad. She just, she probably had an issue with diabetes, and then she gained a lot of weight. So she's actually lost quite a bit. And she still plays around and runs around and stuff. She's doing pretty good lately, but she was pretty sick. We almost lost her. She got real sick for a little while. So yeah, when we got her, she was. We went to a place like a farm that had the bunch of dogs running around and stuff, and we brought her home. And she just has this little bulldog face. She's got little square, like her jaw's like kind of square, especially when she was little. And it's funny because they're like, after she started growing up, I was like, she just does not look like. We had another Chihuahua at the time. She looked so different. And I was Googling on the internet different mixes of Chihuahuas, and a picture of a Chug came. I call them Chugs, Chihuahua Pugs. And one came up and it looked just like her. I texted it to my wife. I was like, holy shit, look at this. She was like, oh, is that Macy? I was like, nope. It was a random dog I found on the internet. It looked just like her. So she's a Chug, but she's sweet.
I think it's time
looks like she has a similar.
Oh, good.
Looks like she has a similar body type to the rest of us on this chat.
Yeah, she's a little chubbo. Are you chubbo?
I was gonna say time to do some consultation with Muscle Dog Mafia and get her on a training regimen.
Yeah. What's the matter, Mace? Yeah, she's always been pretty thick. That's the Chug. I mean, Chugs are like that. They're real thick, and she's got like the curly tail, and she snorts and she snorts when she's sniffing. Like if she's sniffing something out and burrowing in the coverage, you can hear her snorting and stuff. It's funny. So it was like I started looking up the breed of dogs, and people were like, oh, they do this and they do that, and they like to burrow and they snort and they have curly tails. And I was like, oh shit, this dog ain't a Chihuahua. we got scammed into a mutt, but she's good. You want to hang out here for a while?
Yeah, it might be a good thing because they tend to have a little bit less for health issues since they're not purebred. You sometimes don't get quite the severe issues that you get when hips and eyes and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know if I mean, with her with the diabetes, I'm not sure if it was. I don't think it's anything we did. I think she had it for a while, and then when she was gaining weight, we just you don't really know why at first. So yeah, but yeah, because she's never been like a bad eater. She's an eater, but we never we don't leave food out. We always feed them their meals and stuff like that, and yeah, just sometimes it happens, I guess. But you want to hang out here with me? So, couple of things we could talk about. One, I was thinking about doing a pizza bracket. We did a pizza toppings bracket last week. I thought we could go round 2 and maybe do a pizza bracket. I didn't want to do Thanksgiving food yet. Maybe next week we'll throw some Thanksgiving food together. And then this hashtag, okay? Worst hashtag in history, or what the hell did I say in the title? I don't know.
I guess what it was. That's what it sounds
what's
like.
That? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's crazy. I sort of stumbled upon it on Instagram. So I wanted to talk about that. And yeah, Grim, you talked about the old Oscar Mayer Wienermobile with their propaganda on hot dogs ain't sandwiches. That is BS. I don't know what, if we want to talk about that. But so this hashtag thing, have you guys ever heard of the no lacking challenge? Hashtag no lacking challenge, or anybody in the chat?
I cannot say I've heard it.
Negative.
Right.
No.
All right. I'm going to give it a second. I want to see if anybody in the chat has heard about this.
I've heard of the hashtag blind challenge.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I was trying to fit that in, but I didn't.
Ghost says, when did I do a gremlin? No, this is our Macy. We were talking about pups, and I went and got our Macy. Rupan says, why does this have 5 dislikes? Well, it happens. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up a video. Let me see if I can pull up a video here, and we will watch it. Because there has been there's been at least one death from it. And what it is I don't know if it started in Chicago, but it happens. Chicago is kind of seems to be the epicenter, maybe. I don't know. And basically what it is, and I don't know if I have a feeling it started as like a gang thing where certain people, they want to make sure that their friends or other people in the gang are carrying a gun. So it started off as like a game where you will pull out your weapon, a gun, any kind of like a pistol or a rifle, and you point it at somebody when they're not looking, right? And they turn around and they see it, and they have to pull theirs out. And so far, at least one kid has been shot accidentally. Now, the kid that was shot was almost a year ago, so this has been out for quite a while. This has been a thing, and it's wild. It's just, I've never heard of it. Let me screen share here. Okay, now this is from you. This is a video from YouTube. Okay, you want to talk about shit from YouTube that shouldn't be on YouTube? You guys are, people are getting fucking popped for, Clover's got a freaking strike. This is on YouTube. Okay.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and this has probably got 1 million views on it, right?
I don't know. So yeah,
he's got his finger on the trigger too.
Yeah, and he comes around the corner. And, okay.
Oh, yeah, it's this guy that. Okay.
So it's this. So it's like, oh, it's my job now. Oh, see, I'm strapped. Like this is a compilation, obviously. You know what I mean? But there's tons of these videos. There's tons of them. I came across it on Instagram, and so far there was.
Is he yelling out "you lacking" so these people know that it's not like a time to draw and fire? Like it's just a you lacking. Is that what it is?
I guess. I mean,
okay.
Or it's. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't. I sure as hell don't have a.
What happens if you're not packing? Does that person get to shoot you then?
I think
It beats me.
Packing, you get a shellacking.
Oh no.
Yeah, shellacking. Yeah. So crazy.
You know, somebody's going to run away and run out in the street and get hit by a car or something, you know, or somebody's going to freak out. Or, I mean, look at this.
Well, see that, and that's what I mean. Like, it's brandishing for sure, right?
Oh,
so it's illegal. So I'm sure, like, they are probably, like Sarge said, they're probably saying something for the most part. They haven't all the time, though, because I've watched a couple where they haven't said anything. Oh, 10 things you didn't know about Jaws. We should watch that. There's Whitey Bulger. He got popped.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he got beat down.
Yeah.
So this is to people you know, or this is to people
well,
on the street?
I think it started out with people you know, but if you, I mean, you couldn't see the video, but there was some that, I mean, I have no idea whether they know or not. I have no idea if people know or not. So I was like, I thought it was bullshit at first. You know, I didn't think like that it was a thing. And I started like more videos started popping up, more videos. Yeah, more stuff started popping up. So, yeah, it's crazy. I sort of expected somebody to have heard about it just randomly. Like, Jumpy says, "Is that the hoodlum challenge where they point guns at each other?" Yeah, yeah. So it's like it's almost like when you know people in chats will call a gun check, like gun check. And, you know, everybody's like, oh, I've got this or I've got that, whatever. But it's like that times to the 100th degree, you know? So, yeah, some kid got, about a year ago, it was in January, the kid got shot in the face at like a diner or something. They were doing it. Somebody pulled out a pistol and shot the other kid in the face, shot him in the cheek, I think, accidentally. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't believe there needs to be, I can imagine we don't really need to have a whole lot of, discussion about it, right?
No.
Oh. Hey, G, what's going on? Hey, I've been having a little bit of trouble on gun channels. It wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me post. So I don't know. I saw you just said refresh down there. I'm sorry, I wasn't watching the gun channels chat. Is there something going on weird with my chat too?
No, because you just had it underneath of there. That's all.
Oh.
What's going on with that dog? What's going on with that dog there? Is that dog getting a belly rubbed?
That dog's getting. Yep. That's Macy. There's a Macy belly.
All right.
Yeah, this is our old girl. She's getting old, but I brought her onto the show tonight. Yeah. So that was. G, have you ever heard about the hashtag No Lacking challenge?
No lacking challenge?
No lacking challenge. Yep.
I don't know what that means now.
Oh man, how dumbass me, the only one that's seen this. I can't believe it. You guys are so much more up on stuff. All right, so it's a thing where if you're, I guess it started by not gun members, gang members in Chicago, and it's basically sort of the upscale or the version on steroids of somebody like on a video calling like a gun check. You're like, yeah, gun check. You know, you hold up like, oh, I've got this pistol or this, and I'm carrying. But they actually in public will pull out a pistol or something, point it at somebody, and then I think call, are you lacking? Are you lacking? Like, do you have a gun? Or are you lacking your gun? And that other person is supposed to turn around and pull their gun out and point it at them if they have it. We just watched a compilation video of it on the screen share.
Gangsters doing this?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Yeah. So it's so far, I don't know how many people have been shot. I know one kid got shot in the face accidentally. It's like some diner or something, but
well, I think I do have an answer for this. One way to solve this so that it doesn't happen anymore. Take and let girls into Boy Scouts so that when they go to summer camp and stuff, there's a bunch of girls around.
And they don't have to show off?
No, just so that way there's no male role models or anything for these kids, like so that there's no take scouts out of their community.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. No big brothers, no big sisters, no scouts. Well, no sisters, no mentors.
I think. I'm sure they that, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's just taking it to an extreme. Is that to people that are just walking down the street, or to each other, gang members to gang members?
I think it started out with, gang members to gang members, but some of the videos that I've seen almost look like it's common. It's common enough that if they say it, like if they pull out and they say like, "Are you lacking?" that people know what it is. Because there was one dude
like
that was
laughing in the video, like, "Yeah, I'm lacking," and then or they're going to drive, and it's like you can expect it to happen.
Yeah, it's almost like
you don't get murdered if you're not carrying a gun.
No. It's just and that's what's kind of weird about it is like it's actually kind of a good thing. If you like the idea of it, it's like, hey, are you carrying like we talk to each other?
Good thing.
Well, okay. Really? Listen. Okay, so this is a horrible example of how to do it.
But bad execution.
Right. Like you're trying to make sure that people are carrying for their own safety, whatever. But they took it and they did it the worst way possible. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say. Like they're promoting carrying a firearm for their own protection. I'm assuming legally. I don't know. Who knows? But they're going about it the wrong way.
They're literally drawn, basically, and exposing their gun more than just brandishing. They're like taking their gun out and pointing.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's for sure brand, and that's where it does.
In a day when they can get cameras from I don't know, dash cams, from street cameras, and then
light poles,
intersections, from ATM machines, from security cameras. I guess want to run around pulling their guns out, set a task force on, put a reward. Like if you get somebody on film doing that with a good picture of their image or a good image of their face, congratulations. Like here's some kind of reward, and then go prosecute.
Yeah,
I'm surprised we haven't had a lawful gun owner pull and shoot one of somebody who wouldn't know what the lacking thing is about. If somebody would have drawn on me and said, "Yo, you lacking,"
oh God,
I would have turned around and immediately pulled and fired. I mean, I wouldn't even hesitate because I'm like, okay, that's like a gang throwdown, and I'm not a gang member, and this person's got a gun on me. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate. And I didn't even know what this was until you talked about it tonight. I'm like, oh man. I mean, luckily we're out in the middle of nowhere where it takes forever to get to stuff to get to us. Like pop culture stuff or whatnot, or challenges and crap like that. But bad challenges, right? Not like what we kind of do.
Guaranteed they're not legal.
That'd be a fallacy. And I could see back in the day where like they had to wait for something to get into a magazine and then someone to understand what it was, or maybe they had to wait for people to travel physically. With the internet, fads and crazy stuff that has to.
Yeah. Well, maybe for us old people to hear about it, I don't know. So until it makes it on the news, I suppose.
Yeah,
you can't prosecute somebody over a picture like that because you don't know that's actually a firearm. Could be a replica. That's the problem.
Airsoft's look identical.
I guess that's a good point. But if somebody is doing that in public enough to, if you encourage them to report it, then wouldn't that be kind of thing where
we can assume this is all real and it might not be, even though it probably is real. Probably is.
I mean, the guy pointing the gun in those videos, is that look at the magazine sticking out the bottom. Is that an airsoft Glock with a, with that?
Yeah, it would have to be a fake.
Or is that real? Is that one of the clear, like 30-round, clear magazines?
Right.
Is this a ploy by Bloomberg to say gun owners are doing this?
Illegal gun owners.
Well, that's what I know. Warsaw Patriot saying, look this one up. Gangster loser fires AK-47 in the house. The kid shoots his dad rifle inside the house accidentally when he was playing with it.
You know, is it really an accident when you're playing with guns and you're not trained on them? I mean, to me, it's more of negligence. Like accidents, like you didn't intend for it to happen, but if you're gonna play with it, there's that threat, that possibility. You know, I wouldn't say it's an accident at that point.
Yeah, he's saying a kid.
Yeah, it's kind of like out here we have a lot of accidents on gravel roads, and they say, "Oh, the person lost control of the car." No, they were going too fast on gravel. All right.
Yeah.
Lose control of it. If you drive normal speeds, you don't have to worry about it. You know. Yeah.
It's just like a drunk driver.
Yep.
You know, these people going out with, finger on the trigger, pointing it at their buddy, making sure they got their guns. There's no difference.
Yeah. And there's some pretty horrendous trigger discipline too. There's some people that are there's some people that with their hands and I don't know, maybe they're Israeli carrying, maybe. I mean, I'm not gonna try and justify any of it for sure. And it is amazing that somebody hasn't gotten shot.
They're not
sure there's been negligent discharges. I'm sure people have, sent rounds through the floor and through the walls and stuff doing it too. They have to have, man. There's no way that you can have that many people doing that kind of dumb stuff without ripping a few through the drywall,
Yeah.
It seemed to be a lot of younger people doing it too, which the gangs have kind of been watered down, even though, gangs are still dangerous, but not every gang out there is really a gang. And a lot of times certain gang members are required to carry guns. And if you pull up and check them and they don't have a gun, you're killing them, because you're a member of that gang, making sure that this person's doing their job. And if you're required to always have a firearm on you, when I come to check on you, if you don't have it, I'm gonna drop you. So that's why this doesn't seem like real gang related. It's more like millennial gang related.
Mm-hmm.
Because they say that kids are pulling toy guns, they're pulling airsoft guns when they do it, they're pulling Nerf guns out when they do it.
There are also probably a bunch of suburban kids who took their parents' money and bought an illegal gun somewhere.
They're definitely not legal.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I said. Illegal guns.
Yeah. No, I mean the people.
Yeah, people do.
They're
They're not. They don't even look like they're 21.
They didn't take any class.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I said
there was. No, go ahead.
That's why I just mentioned that. If it's one of these ploys that they're pushing out stuff to make gun owners look bad, wouldn't put it past them.
There was a mom that shot an intruder. Yes, the other day. Mom with 3 kids at home. Guy was breaking into the house. I think there was 3 of them there. Three men just decided. It was like they said it was random too. Just randomly decided to break into the house. One dude was kicking in the front door and kicked open the door and took like 1 step in, and she cut loose on him, hit him. The other dudes took off. That was a good one.
So, how often do you think people just randomly go, "Hey, what are you guys doing this evening? Let's break into this house right here. Yeah, great idea. Let's go."
Well, I don't mean randomly like they decided to do it. I mean randomly like they didn't have any knowledge of the homeowner. They just picked a house in a nice neighborhood or something. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, an actual stranger on stranger crime, not someone that knew somebody.
That guy's just literally
set up.
This house looks good.
Yeah, I don't know about in your bigger cities a lot. You will have some true straight up home invasions. In your smaller areas, it's somebody that knows somebody that knew them and knew there was something there, or it was they owed them money, they were going to go take it back, something of that nature. But your bigger areas, you do get some straight up home invasions, which it sounds like that one was.
Unless they were casing the place and knew it was maybe the mom knew the husband. They knew when the husband wasn't gone, or they knew when the husband wasn't home, or maybe they knew she was a single mom and they just assumed she wouldn't be armed. Wrong,
it was still a stranger. They went in on him on an unknown person.
You get like a pizza, or I used to do a thing where I delivered a thing and I'd have to come into the house, or I would get invited into the house. I guess I didn't have to, but I would get invited in to have them sign whatever it was, and then I would hand them the package. And so I'd come into kitchens often or living rooms or however, people have their houses set up differently. And I would imagine when I was doing some cable installations, I went into people's houses quite a bit, rummaged around. You'd go into closets even sometimes. And some people just leave everything out. Other people kind of sterilize the house when somebody's coming over like that. So it's possible, right, that if you got an unscrupulous person just getting a glimpse, a delivery driver, or what some of the scams are just to come up to your door and say, hey, you guys noticed you got a great looking blah, blah, blah in the yard. Is that for sale? And they're looking behind you to see what's in there. So, is it something like that where you get your random, quote unquote, random, but it's really like they've already sized it up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that happened close to us not long ago. Was a guy dressed as a delivery driver or a maintenance guy or something just broke a sliding back door and took a whole bunch of stuff out, and he looked enough when he was coming and going, I guess, he obviously looked enough like he was supposed to be there that nobody really noticed.
People aren't going to notice.
Mm-hmm.
How many work trucks do you see when you're traveling around up there?
Oh, yeah.
We constantly see them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is odd? The number of people around here where I'm at that will answer the door in the middle of the night if you have to end up going to their house for some reason to, not necessarily you're looking for them, but you have a reason to be there, like, hey, your dog's barking or something like that, that will just answer the door and open it without looking to see who's outside.
Yeah.
At 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm not opening the door without seeing who's out there first.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed how many people just come open the door and look. Just craziness.
Mm-hmm. I have to get through my floodlights first and my ravenous dog.
Yeah. Pomade says, my great uncle got robbed by some younger people. He was trapped in a garage for 3 days before somebody found him.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
That is awful.
Jesus.
I would have found an axe. I would have cut my way out. I would have done something.
Oh, man.
Well, that's the
thing. Tied him up.
Duct tape to a chair. You don't go anywhere.
I'm assuming he was tied up because, most garage doors are not that big of a deal. If you need to get through them, you could probably get through one.
You're not far from death when you're tied up. You can get in a bad position pretty quick.
Yeah.
And asphyxiate. Yeah, that's not good.
So that's that segment. As G would say, dead air.
So one way you can solve that is by having 10 people in here, because then it can't happen mathematically. You can't have
that. Macy.
Yeah.
You got some dead air?
System.
You got some dead air?
Look at how much belly is on that dog to pet. That dog's
What's that?
like super fat. Do you know what's going on with that? She's her neck, she looked normal size, and when you hold her up, she looks super fat.
She's diabetic, so we're working with her weight.
Diabetic.
Yeah.
That dog ain't going to that dog ain't walking to Wendy's.
We actually, that's the thing. We actually, that's what I was saying earlier. I think she sort of developed diabetes, and then she had gained a bunch of weight, and we switched her food and then got her on insulin, and then she dropped some. She's doing pretty good now. She's still dropping weights. How about it, Mace? How about it, Macy? What do you think?
I think that comes from not having her belly rubbed enough.
Yeah, probably. I work too much. I know my wife's at home. She rubs a lot of bellies. How about it, Mace? Next thing. This was a topic for, and this is not going to be long. This will be quick, I'm sure. Yankees chat comes up on Yankees chat all the time. That sumbitch Yankee, knockdown power. Okay, and the whole thing. There's knockdown power doesn't exist. So here's my take on it, and I wanted to just see what you guys thought. I really think when people talk about something like knockdown power, whatever you agree with it or disagree with it, or think it's a myth or think it's a whatever, I just really see it as a measurement of, how could we say it? A measurement of force, maybe. So when you can figure out, there's obviously mathematical ways to figure out pounds per square foot of energy that's transferred by a bullet. So you take velocity and mass, and there's an equation, and you come out with square foot pounds of energy. Isn't that just what knockdown power is, right? So a bigger bullet's going to have a bigger or a larger number of square pounds of force, dumped into some type of mass. So isn't that what people really mean when they're talking about knockdown power?
I don't know, because your velocity, the velocity. I'm thinking of like a 5.56 round. The traumatic damage that's going to do on tissue. That isn't necessarily a large bullet compared to say a 45 ACP.
Right.
But when you're talking about, to me, it's like the amount of and to me, when I think of knockdown power, I think of the ability to stop an assailant with one shot, or one center mass shot or central nervous system shot. That's kind of what I'm thinking of, is something that's got. But yeah, I think it's kind of a bigger caliber kind of push. I don't know.
It's not the metric. It's not the calibration. You're not saying like 1 unit of knockdown power is 1% or something. It's just a way to compare. So I think that you get like a diameter, and you get the velocity, and you can get the energy potentially from doing math. All of those metrics are conditional on barometric pressure, altitude, humidity. There's so many things, right?
Yeah.
And then when you start talking about wounds and things, you're talking about variables like clothes and everything else. So if you want to sit around having some kind of a nerd discussion about numbers, then you have to get really, really, really consistent data, right? And that's not possible. So I think it's more of a bird's eye view. When you're going to look at things like calibers, right? Your 9mm lovers, they have to grab onto these little tiny facts here and there, these like little kernels of facts, of numbers and stuff, because that's all they've got. Math. It's all about numbers for them. But I think when you're talking just in general, one caliber versus another, it's the accumulation of all that stuff, not just the numbers, but then it's lifetime, it's years in service, it's effectiveness in different climates and different theaters of war and stuff. So when something like a 45 gets challenged by something like a 40 or a 10, it's like a unchallenged platform or whatever caliber like 10 comparing itself to 45, which has so much time in the field, and it's not perfect, but it's a heck of a lot more data out there. So I think when you're talking knockdown power, you're talking like a conglomeration of all of that stuff. And then in general, 45 has more knockdown power than a 9, and it's not any specific metric. It's all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to consider your situation too, because if I'm 10 feet away from somebody and I put a 5.56 out at them, what is that going to do at 10 feet compared to what a 45 ACP is going to do at 10 feet?
And that's, and I don't have the numbers, obviously. I mean, I've done numbers. It's not hard to do. It's just math. But, when you talk about, I think when people talk about it and they blow it off and they're like, knockdown power doesn't exist, because there's a lot of movie stuff, right? Somebody gets hit by a 12 gauge and it blows them through the window and they fall 2 stories or whatever.
It's not knockdown power, though. People are confusing it. It's not knockdown power. It's what the United States Army defined as stopping power, not knockdown. Everybody says knockdown, but it's actually stopping power. And the reason why the U.S. Army defined it as stopping power is because the U.S. Army originally had 38 caliber, okay, and the 1911 or the Model 1900 Colt was originally designed in 38 ACP, and that did not have enough stopping power that the United States Army wanted. So the 45 ACP was created, and apparently that did. Or at least enough for Army trials and the Army's, at least at that point in time, for their purposes, it had enough.
I got a question. I came across it somewhere, and remember exactly where it is. I'll have to find it and I'll get it to you. But the percentage, if you look at your body size, the difference between calibers, I mean, is it really that much over your whole body size? I mean, I obviously, power and all that stuff, but a 9mm hole versus a 40 hole versus a 45. Now, yes, there's different ways it reacts once it comes in, but versus your whole size of your body, is it?
It's not all hole size; it's depth of penetration. That guy was watching some video where he's talking about how the 9mm rounds in the Florida shootout, the FBI Florida shootout, where they came up with the 40 afterwards, right? The 9mm that the one bad guy was hit with, the round went into the guy from his shoulder, I think, and that's why he was doing all of his meat tests with like a ham and the ribs, because the round went through the shoulder, through the meat of the arm, basically, then into the ribs and through the lungs, and it stopped like inches before the heart. Whereas if it would have gone just a few more inches of penetration, would have stopped the entire thing and nobody else would have got hurt afterwards. I don't know if people had lived or not, but basically that was the concern, that 9 can get in there, but it can't get in, go through things. And so I don't think it's just wound size. We look at wound size because we're talking hollow points, but when they're making decisions in military, think about theater of operation. They can't use hollow points.
And that's what I was that's what I was going to say earlier was, you talk about it, stopping power, knockdown power, whatever you want to call it. Versus like, aren't we really just talking about the damage done? It's a whole bunch of factors, right? It's speed, it's weight, it's
energy transfer to the.
I think that's the thing. It's not just damage, because like Travis is saying, it's the energy. If you can stop someone and it only does a little wound, but the fact is that they're stopped for whatever reason, then that's stopping power. And that doesn't necessarily have to be something you can measure with inches.
Right. No, I agree. I think it's a combination of a whole bunch of different factors, and whether it's, the amount of blood loss, the amount of depth, the amount, I don't know. It's like, it's different from every round. And I guess that's why people, if you're looking for something that's going to get greater penetration in one factor, in one instance, that's going to be your best bet. But maybe in another instance, a bigger projectile that's going to do more total damage is going to make somebody bleed out faster. If you don't hit a vital, that would be better. So
to me, it's that inside cavity, the amount of traumatic shock it does to the tissue in the wound cavity inside, the amount of just energy transfer that goes to the tissue that's going to disable the central nervous system or the person. I don't want to bring up like ballistics videos, but if you ever watch the wound channel, some of these have some tremendous cavities that they create inside. That, to me, that would be the stopping power, because that's more likely to incapacitate your assailant.
Well, that would be important too, I would think, because we have to assume that we're talking about non-fatal shots. A shot that hits the shoulder, hits the stomach, hits the leg, or something like that, and not the heart, the spine, or the brain. So what Travis is saying is, like with me, I'm tall and skinny. If a bullet passes through me, compared to, say, Midnight, who's much bigger than I am, how much damage is it going to do to his internals, because it's going through more of his body than it is me. It's going to pass right through me most likely because I'm tall and skinny.
Well, it depends. A lot of those bullets, if you ever watch and again, I'm not going to say the ballistics test is a standard, but the wound channel usually happens within just a couple inches of going in. It's spinning. It's going to be opening and expanding. It doesn't, take much before it starts to reach its maximum expansion inside the tissue. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, if you got extra 10 inches of flesh around you and meat versus somebody who's skinnier, I can get that.
No. Hold on. Travis is right here. Those gelatin things are not supposed to indicate travel through a body. Those are to give a consistent, platform or whatever, standard, perfect, for different rounds, and then it happens to be that length or whatever because they can see the whole channel. But if you were to take a piece of ballistic gel and stand it the other way, it's gonna, like Travis saying, like your hard guts, your liver, and your kidneys and stuff, they can't handle that shock. That's what hydroshocks were all about. We're all a balloon filled with water balloons filled with goo. So you shoot that water balloon that's filled with water balloons with a bullet, it doesn't matter if it has time to expand and all that. Like, stuff happens to all of our stuff, all of our water balloons inside of there. So it doesn't need to travel 16 inches. 16 inches just means it's going to go through 2 people, but it's still going to create that wound channel Travis was talking about in each of those people.
The only thing, I guess the only argument you could say is that Full Metal Jacket versus hollow points, you hear that the Full Metal Jacket round is going to have a minimal wound cavity because it's not expanding and opening up into the tissue like a hollow point. So you could argue and say that maybe Full Metal Jacket on a non-vital shot will have less knockdown power than, say, a 44 mag hollow point. I mean, that 2 extreme examples because When you watch Full Metal Jacket on a ballistics gel test, it'll go through like 24 inches and go out the other end. Whereas most of your hollow points expand within a foot.
You're talking like a cookie cutter, like how much cookie is being taken from the cookie sheet. Because I know Midnight makes us keep it like that. But I'm saying if you take a rock and drop it in a puddle, and you take a rock and drop it in a lake, you're getting ripples both ways, and those ripples are what rip our kidneys and our livers and that kind of organ. So a gut shot by a 22 and a gut shot by a 44 Magnum, gut shot by a 223, they're all creating those ripples, and that's what you're talking about. That more than just the actual hole, the cavity that the hollow point can make, all that stuff gets ripped and torn. That happens, and if you shoot 2 or 3 people, they're all going to have effect with that, right? I mean, if the bullet travels through like 3 people, it's still going to have that effect in all of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, is that really a major concern? With I guess we're just going to stick with pistol calibers. The pass through, like if I've got an assailant in my house and my best friend's standing behind him, if I shoot the assailant at say 10 feet away, am I really taking that big of a risk of the bullet passing through and hitting my friend standing behind them?
Sarge, can you chime in on this? Full Metal Jacket shots or versus hollow point?
You shouldn't be thinking in a horizontal line. Think about ducking down behind a chair and shooting him up through his jaw.
Or an angle.
Well, I'm just thinking worst case scenario, because I always hear about, the pass through, and worrying about shooting your neighbor across the street if the bullet passes through the assailant and goes out your window, and all that stuff. I've only been into firearms full time for just over a year, so calling me a novice would be an insult to novices. That's why I'm asking. Is that really a concern with the pass through?
You are responsible for the terminal resting place of that bullet. So
he's asking, can it actually through?
Well, that's what I mean. Will it go through the bad guy and hit my friend standing behind him?
It will zip right through them. Okay. Yeah. You shoot a Full Metal Jacket through somebody, unless it hits bone and gets deflected, it will zip right through.
I think it works like this with physics. Like if there's a bad guy who needs to, be dealt with, and then there's another bad guy behind him, it'll stop in the first bad guy. But if there's a guy with a good guy,
I saw the slow and lazy 45 ACP round go through someone's chest at an angle and go through their leg and go out the other side and put a dent in the floor. So it will zip right through. That went through the largest part of their body and through a limb and still chip the floor. So it will definitely go right through. And that's a slow 45 ACP.
I mean, that's my argument for frangible or for hollow points. When you think about it, you want to keep that in consideration.
Are meant to dissipate all their energy inside the intended target. So if I've got a Full Metal Jacket that's, let's just pick an arbitrary number. Say it's putting out 300 pound-feet of torque, okay, upon impact. So, and it zips right through. How much did it actually dissipate on that person? If it still went out the other side, not all of it, of course, or it would have stopped. But if you hit someone with a hollow point that puts out the exact same amount of pressure, and it stops inside that person, it has dissipated. It has put all 300 pound-feet of torque on the intended target. If so, that tells you right there. Stopping power is a misnomer, but the correct ammunition will definitely aid in stopping power.
So I guess my next question would be, the home defense rounds are that much more important than your target rounds?
100%.
Yeah. The big argument for the FXT, the little rubber tip on the critical defense, is that little red tip will pass through fabric, and it won't clog up the end of the hollow point. Like, they do the denim test where they shoot through layers of denim and clothing. So if you shoot through somebody that's got thick clothing on, that hollow point still has a better chance of expanding because that little plastic tip made it like an arrow cut through the fabric before it started to expand inside them. Whereas I've seen hollow point tests before where they'll shoot hollow pointed denim and it'll clog up with denim and not expand, or not expand properly. It'll like open up one petal and that's it. So that's my argument for home defense. Like, for me, it's critical defense in all my guns in the house for home defense.
Thought that was kind of the marketing behind the what was it? The federal EFMJs, the expanding ones.
Yeah.
Where it was basically like just the front half of the bullet had a regular jacket, but then it was like rubber underneath it, and then the back was regular lead. Was that it didn't need the fluid to actually open and expand. It just needed to have a force acting upon the tip to cause a deceleration.
Oh, well, that'd be another. Now it's kind of a different, take on the physics behind it, but I don't see why that wouldn't work. The ones that look pretty nasty are what the Lehigh Defense ones. When you watch the videos for that, the ballistic shell test on that stuff just like a pedal. It just like grinds everything apart inside that it goes through. But then again, I don't know how those
is a little bit. It's unnecessary. Those Lehigh Defense, those super rounds like that, or the rip rounds. It's just unnecessary. People don't just brush off a good Federal HST, even a 9mm. They just brush it off and keep going. No, it has severely changed their mind. They think about what's important to them, and most of the time, if they're still alive, it's getting away. If not, they're dropped right there. You don't need these crazy rounds that are out there. Some of them, you need a good. And as far as a legal defense, you just need a good performing self-defense round. You don't need the most the most badass thing out there. You don't need that. You just need a good self-defense round, because that shows that you were just there to. Because what's the point of this? The point of this is to stop the threat. It's not to kill the person. It's to stop the threat.
I think also.
Go ahead.
I think also, if you're in some kind of situation where they're even trying to pull the shoot in question, whether it's legal or not, if you'd be carrying some kind of wacky round like that, I think you're doing yourself a little bit of a disservice too.
No, I think at some point these rounds are going to disappear. Things like that, I think they're going to go away. They're going to get sued.
I can see where you guys are going with the marketing and stuff, but as long as you're diligent, you're practicing, then I think you're covered. If you just went to the shop and bought one, and then you went on the witness stand and said you bought it because of the marketing, I'd agree with you guys. But if you were to buy them and you serious, because like Yankee buys them, I think he's got some theory, right? He thinks that the lightweight rounds or something are better because they're faster and better aim. I don't know. But anyway, if you were to buy them and then do some shooting with them, which is tough when they cost the most expensive of all bullets, basically. But if you were to actually shoot with them, and then you had a competent attorney and they said, yeah, he carries a bullet that's very rare because he trained with it and tested it and determined that that's the one that would do the job he wanted done. You know what I'm saying? A competent attorney could make a case for you.
I've never heard anybody that, and I see what you're saying, but I've never heard of anyone get jammed up because they didn't train enough. It's usually what happened in the act, or their thought process during it, their motivation during it. So, right. but I agree with what you're saying.
I'm just being devil's advocate. I think most people buy it because of the marketing. I bought it because it says RIP on it.
Well, is it marketing, or is it maybe the research But now, if you're talking about those rip rounds, yeah, I think people do buy into that marketing in a negative light. I don't like that stuff. Don't care for it. I think they'll get sued. Is that the ones you were talking about, or something like that?
Well, isn't this kind of the same thing with the back in the early 2000s, late 90s with the black talons?
Yeah.
Oh, they're Teflon coated. They'll go through. It's like, I don't know. They're, yes, maybe not in a criminal suit, but in like a civil suit, I could see be more of an issue, or more of more fertile ammunition to be used against you. No pun intended.
Well, here's with those rip rounds. What are they? They're the ones that break apart into bunches of little pieces.
Yeah, and then what are the Lehigh
out of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've been involved in a shooting and you have stopped the threat. And once the threat is stopped, there's no more application of force, correct? We're all on the same page, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
We're not shooting anymore because we've stopped the threat. We've gotten out of there.
Yeah.
But you chose a round that even after it stopped the threat that exploded in there that you knew no doctor was going to be able to fix or to stop or even attempt to save that person's life. You were ensuring that they were going to die. Anyone that messed with you, you were ensuring it. Even if after you stopped it, I don't need to shoot them 2 or 3 times, because if I shoot them once, there's no saving them. That's kind of what someone's going to run into with that. You know,
at that point, should people just use Full Metal Jacket then?
No, because that's going to zip through. That's not the intended purpose. That won't stop them.
And if you hit somebody
you're just
behind
trying
them
to stop the threat, which a good, some of your top 5s, like your Federal HST, your Spear Gold Dots, your Winchester Ranger XTs. I'm sure there's a couple more, like your good ones that have been known to perform and just do their job. You have the most shield from liability with those.
So, Sarge, what's your opinion on critical defense, since that seems to be such a go-to for so many people?
They're fine. There's you get I meant to mention them. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There's like 4 or 5 that just do good right across the line, and then it's kind of personal preference after that, because there's like 4 or 5 or 6 that meet the criteria. So after that, it doesn't matter as long as they're in that little FBI. And if you go by the FBI standards, now wow, this is what I read. This is what the FBI puts out there, what they need. So I don't want anything more than that. I just need what the FBI needs. So I picked one that had a good rating and fit right within their standards, and I'm just trying to protect myself.
Well,
you're not up there by yourself. Go ahead.
I didn't hear the last part.
Go ahead, David.
Oh, I'm sorry. As far as the topic of takedown power or stopping the threat, there may or may not be statistics, so maybe the more experienced people on the panel would know. How often does the assailant continue on after the first shot? Like, I know that there's plenty of videos out there where you see, a cop shoots somebody 4 or 5 times and they're still charging the cop. But is that a rare thing, or
it's extremely rare? Anyone that's not, it's for someone to keep coming after another person, they have to be either highly motivated, as in they were extremely angry at that person, and it's going to be the last thing they do is kill them. They're in a fight for their life, or they have to be so whacked out of their mind on drugs that they didn't feel the pain and the shock from those blows, from those initial shots. Because most people, it's a game changer. They get hit once or twice and it's over for them. As far as their fight mentally and their willpower, it's over. So no, they usually don't fight through it. Yeah, you can find videos of anything online, but if there's 5,000 self-defense shootings this year, and 2 guys, the ones that they show the videos on, keep plowing through it, that's such a low percentage. That's not going to happen to you. a couple good shots on target. Once they drop, you get back, you stay in sight. You want to stay in the fight, but you want to create distance, because how am I going to shoot? Am I more likely to hit the target at 7 yards, or am I more likely to hit the target at 30 yards away? I'm probably less likely to hit it at 30, so I need to get some distance between me and what just tried to hurt me. So, but still keep it in sight. Don't turn my back to it. So, but they will not fight through several good shots.
That's kind of what I was thinking, because I imagine if I got shot once, I'd be pretty much ready to give up.
Unless you were the victim and you were fighting for your life. If you're on the offense, a lot of times it changes everything. So on the defense, you can't stop.
But we're carrying for defending ourselves, right? So, and others. So we're gonna. I would shoot for the most. Okay, so the common, I think, is probably 1 or 2, and then I think 3 is the average or something. Then
a lot of times it's 3 to 5 feet, 3 to 5 seconds, 3 to 5 rounds. That's just a pure average.
You're talking about just in a lethal force.
3 to 5 yards. I'm sorry, not 3 to 5 feet. 3 to 5 yards, 3 to 5 seconds, 3 to 5 rounds. There's your kind of nut.
You're talking about a law enforcement gunfight?
No, I'm talking about just a self-defense shooting.
Okay, so
law enforcement's going to be pretty close to that. They might shoot a few more rounds, but that's about it.
I think law enforcement's totally different because you have to go do things.
Because we get sent to the bad guys. Everybody else, you get a chance to go away. We get sent to them, so that's why the percentages of shootings are up.
Run away from us. People don't come to CCW.
Don't run towards gunfire, yeah. Law enforcement, you have to run towards gunfire.
CCW holders people don't come to them to commit suicide. So you guys have to encounter things that other people don't have to deal with.
I have encountered that. You're right.
But I'm just saying, I don't carry for the average. I carry for the extreme, what I might need, and then some. Because what if you're that flyer? You're the one that needs 5. Plus the other thing is I know you're asking about, because we're talking about stopping power, how many it takes to stop an assailant, but that's a different number than how many rounds it takes to get that one on the assailant.
There you go. That's a very good point.
But that's a whole different topic or whatever. But that's
a very good point, though.
Yeah.
Which one actually stopped them?
And that's the thing. So if 9mm is shitty, sorry, are we allowed to swear in this one? If it's garbage, which it is, as far as stopping power, since we're talking stopping power, and 45 is, the 10 on the gold standard. So, but you can't shoot 45, or let's say 10mm, 10 on the gold standard. That's why I call it 10mm. It's 10 out of 10. So you can't shoot it though. So it's ultimately effective over in the air somewhere behind the guy, but you can put 9mm where it needs to go. Then guess what has better stopping power for you, right? Because you can put that 9 on where it needs to go. I'll just throw out there, you're not by yourself on stand too when we were talking about the rounds. So again, just to play devil's advocate, if you chose some round that does, for whatever reason, claim that it can dissipate all its energy by dispersing its mass, like Travis is saying, that's what hollow points do. Then somewhere there's also advertising about how by those little shreds, a doctor can't ever save the person. They can't say that you're buying it because of that marketing, and any competent attorney is going to be on your side saying, this guy, he might be aware of that marketing, but it's not his job to worry about that. It's also, has this characteristic, which is supposed to, be as effective as possible. And, for blah, blah, blah reasons, they chose this one. But I would just say, you're not up there.
You get the wrong jury and they're sympathetic and you're done, because it only takes a majority in civil court. It's not guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's just one more than half.
Oh, well, we're talking civil now, and that's something
we're talking. That's all comes together.
Well, I think in an actual criminal case, you could also fight with the argument of intent that, I didn't have the intent on ever firing my weapon, but if I did, I had the most powerful round in it that I could legally carry.
I was only thinking criminal. So Sergeant's 100% right. When you're talking civil, which we don't ever talk about enough. When you go to get sued by the family, then is when it comes up your intent, your internet history. Oh, this is on Instagram. In real life,
like from the criminal side,
this because the most effective. But on Instagram,
you're justified to shoot. You're justified to shoot if it's on the criminal side. I think that plays less of a part. But if you get some of those crazy rounds, on the civil side, you could really be in a jam. You really could be.
Is it 51 on both sides? It's
no, in criminal court it has to be unanimous.
Preponderance of the evidence or something.
But it has to be unanimous. All 12 jurors have to find you guilty or not guilty.
But on civil side, 51.
It's just seven of the 12.
There you go. And it's not always a jury trial, right? Sometimes it's jury.
Sometimes they just have to feel bad for you or feel bad for the other person because they wheeled them in there in a suit, or they wheeled their friends or their kids in there or their mother, and they're all dressed up and dolled up and upset they lost this.
Or you're
fine, upstanding person.
Stranger. You travel and you're the stranger. Then all they got to do is bring in all his friends and family and the juries from there, and you're the guy keeping them out of town.
Yeah, that's why the more stock your weapon is, and the more basics. If you carry around that is known to law enforcement to work, you're just using the standard, is what you're using. I'm using what a lot of law enforcement agencies in the country use. I'm using one of these 5. You're so well within the norm. You're like on the dotted line, right in the middle, right where you're supposed to be. You're not on one extreme or the other when you're getting the Lehigh defense or the rip rounds or this buffalo bore, the crazy stuff that goes super, super fast. I'm just carrying what law enforcement carries. That's all. Nothing unusual about me. I never wanted to do this, never wanted to be in this position. You know, I don't have a 3.5 pound ghost connector in my Glock. I don't have a 2 pound trigger. I don't have all the extra stuff. I just got a nice, safe stock weapon with good sights, a good weapon.
Hey, G, I just emailed you a link. If you'd watch that.
So, Sarge, now's a good time to invest in the good old-fashioned Jimenez JA9.
No.
Because if I'm going to lose it, it's going to be gone for a while. I don't want to lose anything expensive. So
No, Travis, you should totally get another Sky CPX too.
Well, no, that's a good gun to get yourself killed. No, you don't. You weren't. No, not to actually.
You said if you're gonna. Well, if you're gonna lose a gun, like you said, if you're gonna lose it, you're gonna lose a gun that you don't want.
Well, Sky actually does provide you with a replacement firearm if yours is confiscated in a defensive shooting. As long as you're able to still have a gun at that point. That's part of their warranty if you read their cover. They used to give you a free gun if you reported your gun as stolen and you filed an official police report. They used to give you a free replacement gun, but guess what? They had hundreds and hundreds of claims of stolen guns, and they had to make right on the warranty that they advertised, and then they since dropped it about a year or two after they made the CPX2. But yeah, they do supply you with their replace. No, you can look it up, dude. They actually have a thing on their website that says that they had to quit offering that portion of their warranty because
people were giving them away, selling them on the street and saying they were stolen. I bet that's crazy. Yeah. I never heard that.
Yeah, it was. If you just look up Sky CPX2 warranty, there's that was one of the big things is they'd say if it gets taken or if it gets confiscated in a self-defense, the self-defense shooting free replacement thing is real. That's actually legit, and you get a lifetime warranty with it. But again, it doesn't matter if the gun doesn't go off because when you practice with it enough, eventually the gun's going to quit working. So,
unknown user out there is trying to get rid of some grips for a revolver. He said, I think he said he's willing to part with them minus shipping. The grips I have say they're for was it Smith 4465, blah blah blah. He rattles off a bunch of numbers up there. So check in the chat. Oh, Taurus.
Yeah, I think you read my comment underneath it saying it was for their Smith & Wesson clones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you have like a Raging Bull or a Raging Judge or anything like that, it's not going to fit that frame.
I got a Raging nothing.
Or something, or
I just got a Taurus tracker.
Hit him up if you're looking for some grips. So yeah, Patriot emailed that. G, if you, I can't play it because if I play it, you won't get sound. So I don't know if I didn't watch the whole thing. You know, if it's something that. Was that?
You want me to play the video?
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, if it seems, yeah, Patriot thought it was worth listening to, watching.
That was the one that was talking about the percentage of the size of the bullet versus the size of a person.
I'm going to get paid double, right? I'm doing all the extra work.
Yeah. Macy gets one extra belly rub.
I think you need to talk to Clover about getting that extra tasty cake, though.
Oh, yeah, it's going to happen.
I went to Walmart today, and they didn't have nothing.
Oh, jeez.
They were all stocked up. They had, like, their whole little rack, the individual rack, like, all filled. But there wasn't a slot for the chocolate-covered ones. It's probably because it's Tucson. They probably don't send the chocolate stuff here.
Yeah, all burst into flames.
It's different. That, for instance, a law enforcement officer, when they get in a position of having.
So this is Claude Warner. He's an advocate of carrying a pocket pistol and that, you know, putting rounds on target or rounds on target. So something like a 32 or whatever is small enough to carry all the time and be effective still, right? And so I'm fast forwarding while I'm saying all this because there's some infographics that popped up. I figured I'd look to them.
About our
otherwise it's 6 minutes. You don't want me to play the whole 6 minutes thing.
No, doesn't matter to me.
All Sentinel events had very, distinct outlier. And if we had unlimited training resources, okay, that's great. Let's be prepared for everything. But ultimately, much of life is ruled by
so I guess that's what I was saying.
Principle, the 80-20 rule.
So I was saying, I guess the terminology for what I'm talking about is the Sentinel event, a statistical outlier that I might be preparing for. So I want to be prepared for the most crazy instance that ever happened in the country, plus a little bit, where this guy's saying, that's great, but if you go with this 80-20 rule, I don't know if you guys have heard of the 80-20 rule, but it's a thing, 80% versus 20. 80% of the benefit out of carrying a firearm is due to 20% of it, basically, having it and being able to pull the trigger. 20% as far as the caliber isn't as important as having the gun, that kind of thing. So I guess he's saying that, having the gun available to you outweighs the craziest of crazy events that I'm going to not only be in a gunfight, that I'm going to need to use my gun in the gunfight, because not every gunfight you need to use your gun. And then it's going to be the craziest of ones where I need to use 8 rounds or something. So instead of being ready for that, instead be ready for like the 80% of the time, which is I just need to have a gun.
One of the other things he threw up was the difference between police officers and the rest of us, is because police officers are stopping it permanently, kind of thing. And I don't know the words he used. I didn't rewatch it, but where we're just trying to stop the situation. And if an officer has to shoot, it's more to end the whole situation. Because we just want to get away from whatever's happening and stop whatever's happening. I don't know.
I can't find that one as easy. Those other ones I could find because they like changed from a picture of the guy's face to like an infographic where I could just pause and look at the thing and read what it said on the screen. They just didn't do one for what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was right when you started to fast forward where he was talking about law enforcement officers, basically talking about the mindset with that. If they have to pull the gun, it's because they know something. What I don't remember. I watched it a couple weeks ago.
They have a duty. They're sworn. They have obligations and they have authority and they have abilities that we don't have, but they do definitely have.
It was basically throwing it up that if you have to pull your gun to stop a situation, you're doing it to stop and to get away from whatever is going to hurt you. And that's obviously different for an officer. He's trying to protect everybody and stop the situation that doesn't hurt everybody or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he mentioned something about an officer has to actually get hands on the person and put cuffs on them and arrest them and stuff. Whereas you don't. You just need to stop the threat, and either they leave or you leave. Where you don't actually have to.
It was interesting. He was the one that was talking about the size of a bullet, compared to the size of a person, and the difference or whatever. I just thought it kind of sounded different. That's why I kind of took note of it.
I got a thing that might be off subject for sure, but it might be necessary to do a whole nother show about, or you might not have the cojones to even want to tackle this issue.
I want nothing to do with it.
Okay.
He already has his cojones, so no contest.
I got a co-host tonight, so let's see what's up. What's going on?
Dang it! I thought of it as Patriot was saying that, and now I have to think of it again because I was thinking.
He was thinking the cojones that got him all flustered.
On the spot.
Well, I'll think of it if I'm not trying to think of it. Dang it! But it was definitely a real subject.
Kinky saying, what about guys that have like Punisher grips and stuff like that? I think it depends on what it is. I don't know. I mean, if it's a questionable thing and you have a shitty lawyer, or you try and not have a lawyer, or you don't have the money for something, I mean, I guess, man, anything, they could throw anything at you and try and make it difficult. I mean, especially in civil court, right? Because then you have to start worrying necessarily, you have to start like, hell, OJ got it in civil court, shit. And he wasn't convicted in, federal court.
I had to go listen to Patriot again. So Patriot was talking about cops having a different, what's the word? A different set of
like a necessity.
Yeah, like they've got a different set of priorities when they're duties. Right? When they stop somebody. So duty's a perfect word. Thank you. So, I don't know, again, if this is for a whole nother show, but let's say that you're a person, an armed individual, and something goes down in front of you, and bad guy does something obviously bad. You can tell it's bad. He was shooting. Let's say he's a murderer. Let's say he murders somebody. And then he swings the gun to you, and he complies. You say, stop, and he complies. Do you have an obligation to hold him under citizen's arrest till the cops get there? Because I know that I'm being exaggerating here a little bit, I guess, because you guys were just talking about having an obligation to stop the threat or get the hell out of there. Do we always have an obligation to get the hell out of there, or do we have an obligation once in a while to detain and to do something more than just boogie?
Well, I think that's a crazy split-second decision that you'd have to make, I mean,
not split decision. Let me make it easier. Let me say we're at an event where there's families and kids and stuff around. There's a crazy gun guy. He's just done something so atrocious that he's a bad guy. And now he's complied. Now you've said stop, and he stopped. I mean, you're not going to holster and be like, thanks, get out of here.
No, I think you keep the weapon on him and hope that somebody else is willing to help you out as far as, detaining. Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, I think I'd be really worried about going and trying to handle somebody myself. If I say we're in that instance and I pull a pistol out and they comply, they say, okay, whatever, they put their gun down, I would still not want to put hands on them because I'm not a fighter, man. I'm not trained to do that shit. I'm not going to run up to somebody and try and put their hands behind their back and half-ass, detain them. I mean, what happens if, they get my gun away from me or something? So I'm going to keep them at greater than arm's length away for sure. And I think I would stay on them for sure. I wouldn't go anywhere till the cops were there. I mean, some people, I guess, depending on the situation, might leave, and some people I think might try and manhandle them. But I think that's scary. I think that's a bad idea, man.
Well, you don't want to just run away, though.
By yourself, especially.
It can be illegal. You can't touch people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is you have to know your state laws, because certain times, even if you're stopping the bad guy, if you hurt the bad guy, you're culpable.
Really?
Yeah.
I know in the state of Maryland, it's a must-flee state. I don't know if that's the exact terminology for it, but if you have any chance to run at all, you have to run.
Right.
And you have to exercise every opportunity. So if I'm in a situation that I can stop, then I can run. I'm duty bound to run according to state law in Maryland. So in a situation where a guy gives up, if I rustle over and throw him on the ground and put his arm behind his back and, break his wrist, he's going to sue me for breaking his wrist.
Right.
But remember a couple weeks ago where that guy stopped and helped the police officer that was getting beat up? Didn't he? There was a guy that shot the guy that was beating up the police officer.
Yeah.
Just a passerby, good guy.
Well, I have heard too, like, in instances like that where they talk, and that will come out in the news that something like that happened. And I've heard police officers give statements and they say, verbally ask the officer if he needs help, and let the police officer make the decision, say, yes, I need help. Help me.
Nothing.
There we go.
You're good.
Yep, we can hear you again.
I'm sorry. I had so much to say there in that last 5 minutes. I couldn't do it.
Well, that's because I had you muted. I didn't really want to hear you. Sorry.
You liar. It's on this.
Well, get rid of the stash. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you jumped off.
I went to go get a soda and I muted myself like beyond repair.
So that's why you're muted right there. It's pop.
What's that? A Dr. Pepper? What is that?
No, it's a Coke Zero.
Oh,
fake Coke.
That stuff sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what part I don't want to jump in.
It all tastes the same.
All right. So now you're all
the
you're
citizens
all wound up.
arrest part. First thing you got to do is know if your state has a citizens arrest, because not all do. Some have a limited power to detain, and if you were to use deadly force, say you witnessed a murder, okay, and you knew it from start to finish, so you knew the circumstances about what just took place, would you be detaining that person, or would you be using deadly force on that person, on the other person's behalf, because they can no longer defend themselves? Do you know they're dead? Do you know that?
Exactly. So you wouldn't.
You don't know that,
and you can't.
I would be using force on their behalf because they're incapacitated, and if I was going to jump in and knew that was a bad guy and they had mortally wounded them and they have the legal right to shoot them back, if they could, I could use force on their behalf, and I'm going to use very good force. That's going to be the end of them. And
now, if you detain somebody, and you're talking about in your state, sometimes that's illegal. Would that be a kidnapping charge?
No, not detaining. Citizens arrest isn't illegal. It doesn't exist in all states.
Right.
Okay.
Citizens, not even a thing someplace.
It's not even a thing.
Oh, okay.
But then you can't go arrest someone for a power that you don't have, but you can detain. And so if you saw something, I don't know, just like you said, like the beginnings of a mass shooting, they start cracking off rounds and crack a couple people, and you get out your gun, and you're like, oh, no, not today. And you engage them, and they're like, well, we didn't plan on having any opposition, and they give up and they go face down. Well, they're going to stay face down until somebody gets there. Now, and because I am going to be awful, they are going to think I'm about to shoot them, and just by looking the wrong way, because I'm going to get my point across clearly that it's in their best interest to say exactly where they're at. What do you do if they call your bluff and they just get up and bolt? Be a good witness. Chase them if you feel like it, but you hope they follow through with your threat that you're going to do something if they get up and leave, and hopefully they listen and they stay there. The authorities get there and hook them up, and they can take it from there. But
just because I've seen this,
really, it's just a big threat is what it is.
Just because I've seen this before, and just to be devil's advocate and a dick, like now imagine if you just exactly what Sarge said, and now somebody comes along 5 minutes, 3 minutes later, and they heard all the commotion, they saw the aftermath, they come up and they see Sarge detaining a guy. What are they going to think? And what are they going to interact? They're not cops. They're not coming up with badges and sirens and declaring and ordering. They're just coming up. what are you going to think? Is that this guy's ally, or is this somebody who misunderstands and thinks you're the bad guy in the first place, and you're about to engage with yet another innocent when you're actually the person? You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to explain it myself real quick.
Well, I think too that's
even if they're coming up stealth, like they think they're coming up on the bad guy, and you're the. I mean, I'm just saying.
You're not going to find that many John Waynes in one place. The only John Waynes that are there were there when it went down.
I know. I'm just saying theoretically, though, to make it so that I like black and white.
I think that's the argument too that you hear a lot of times from people that don't carry. One of the arguments that they have is, well, if you're there with a gun, the cops are going to think you're the bad guy. And I mean, is that worth not having it? You know?
Does every witness think you're the good guy? What about the 100 witnesses that were there? 65 of them going to go to court and testify that all they saw was a bunch of stuff, chaos, and then you looming above somebody shouting orders with a gun? They're going to testify that you're the bad guy at the scene. They're going to point cops to you, saying that's what the bad guy looked like. I mean,
they're going to have you on Christmas cards and everything else because you just literally saved their family.
No, I don't. I'm just saying, life gets complicated. It's not black and white. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But no, I'm saying at the scene, if there was chaos, and then the immediate aftermath was that you saw the bad guy, you were the only one with eyes, and you're detaining them. So they come along 3 minutes later, and what they see is the chaos aftermath, and then you looming above somebody with a firearm. You don't have a badge on that says, "Hey, I'm a good guy. I came along after the fact, and I'm holding the bad guy down." They're going to see a guy with a gun holding somebody down, and all.
You know what they're going to? You know what else they want to hear? When they see that, they want to say, they want to hear you calling for them. Officer, I've got him right here. I've got him down right here.
No, he's talking about another concealed carrier.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about their old Joe Schmo eating a pretzel. What are they going to say to the officers that are outside saying, what's going on in there? They're going to say, guy with a C4 hat on has his gun drawn on somebody.
Well, yeah, when the cops roll into the scene, right. I mean,
it was a night strike hat. It was a night strike hat.
It was not.
He was infringing.
It wasn't me.
Clover's
Yeah, definitely wasn't me either.
I don't know the guy. I wasn't even there.
Hey, Clover.
Nope.
Was not.
I wasn't even there.
Nope.
What do you think, Mace?
Nope. Whole bottle of nope.
Wait, when did Clover get here?
He's in the chat.
All.
He joined.
Earl.
Hey, Macy can wear this beard too. Hey, Macy. You want a beard?
Hey, now don't you be giving her your leprechaun.
Leprechaunacy?
Well, if you must use the Latin name for it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It was a Slim Jim. Do not be taking the Slim Jim's name in vain there, Kinky's finger.
Slim Jim's are candy bars.
Yep. Proven fact. It's on Wikipedia. It's got to be true.
It is. It's on Wikipedia. What do you... Huh?
I think since this is...
all that candy with that beard on, she's just going to be licking your face now.
Since we are in the middle of the 2018 battle of our hot dogs sandwiches, we should get this into the hands of Wikipedia. We've already got notoriety.
Yeah.
I saw it on my local news. They've changed it to that's not the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. It's the Oscar Mayer Sandwich Mobile. They changed the name.
Are you kidding?
They changed the name.
What a death.
This is
I'll tell you what.
Meyer is a sandwich producing company, though. You know, maybe they're just expanding their horizons a little bit.
It will always be known as the Wienermobile.
They were like the Boy Scouts. They were like the Boy Scouts let girls in, so let's just call it a sandwich.
If this hot dog sandwich thing takes on, it's going to be the end of the world for sure. This is the apocalypse upcoming. Hot dog, a sandwich, it's over for us.
Could you imagine, like, if that shit all began by somebody watching a dumbass video on gun channels, like one of our videos, and we're talking about it, and they're like, ha ha ha, and it just like spread, and now it's like a company-wide thing. How ridiculous would that be?
Ladies and gentlemen, our sales have been down 5% for the last 3 years. It's time to rebrand as sandwiches.
Yep, hot dog sandwiches.
I saw this YouTube video with this chef who likes guns. And
bunch of idiots.
Something about hot dogs.
Look at this idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And somebody's like, wow.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. Let's try that. Let's try that in marketing.
Nobody. He ain't going to.
Yeah, he'll never know we're doing it. He won't know it until the hot dog mobile blows by his house at 60 miles an hour. Like, holy shit, that's a big sandwich.
Sucker.
Why you keep calling it hot dog mobile? Is he just says sandwich mobile?
Sandwich mobile.
Well, it's the hot dog sandwich mobile.
There you go.
I mean, it's just it's too many words, too many syllables. People like things that are short and easy to say.
So is Joey Chestnut the hot dog sandwich eating champion now?
Isn't he the one that cheated a whole bunch of times?
I'm sure if you're eating 75 hot dogs in 5 minutes, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, I think that he got busted. I think cheating a whole bunch of times. Like I think that's the guy. He was like, they have the drinks. Yeah, he would like break them off inside the cup, so he didn't have to eat them. Macy, what's the matter? Why are you so excited?
So when you're at a restaurant,
you would just take a hot dog and put it in a cup of water and drink the hot dog?
No, he'd wet the bun so that it wouldn't dry his mouth out. He could just.
Yeah, but that's part of the rules, though. You're allowed to do that. Everybody does that.
Yeah, but what he was doing was actually when he was dunking it, he was like purposely like trying to break pieces off.
Oh, okay.
So, like, yeah, the guy besides
guy.
Yeah,
with orange hair or yellow hair.
I forget his name. Yeah,
eaten by putting parts of the hot dog in the water.
Yeah, well, I saw one with burgers too. They were doing burgers, and at the end of it, the guy beside him was like, called the judges over. He's like, "Look at this shit! Look at this shit!" And he used to drink, instead of water, he would do it with like some sort of like pink, pink lemonade or something, like pink lemonade. So you couldn't see it, but like the dude beside him dumped the cup out, and it was literally full of like chunks of burgers and buns and stuff. So he was like, well, this is bullshit. He's like, he's not eating. You're supposed to eat a certain percentage of it for it to count. So yeah, he got busted and got thrown out of like some tournament. Yeah.
Kobayashi is the Chinese
Kobayashi
guy.
is the Japanese guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I get a question. If you go to a restaurant that has fancy menus, where do you find a hot dog? Is it in the sandwich section, or is it
usually in the appetizer?
I would put it in the I would put it in the sandwich.
Hot dogs are found in the kids section.
I mean, is it an appetizer or is it a main course? That's
it depends, because if you buy we've used to get the full pound dogs, 16-ounce dogs, or you can get, a lot of times you get like 8 ounces are pretty big, but we used to get the big ones like the footlongs and sell them at the bar. And yeah, those are pretty monstrous. I would put them under sandwiches for sure. We have them on the bar menu, but we don't have any categories in the bar menu. It's just all bar stuff. So it could be anything from. What's that?
Hamburgers or sandwiches.
So next time you go to a restaurant, check the menu and see where they're located.
In the kids section.
I have to agree with David.
If you go to a snooty booty restaurant,
a snooty booty. I don't know if Ruth Chris has got hot dogs.
Booty.
They might.
No, they don't have the hot dogs. They have aged
Wagyu
beef that's been hanging in the shed for the past 5 years, ground into a naturally clean casing.
The fuzzy stuff.
Yeah, we got the fuzzy stuff. Yep.
We get the fuzzy dogs.
There's the Snake River Farms, that place that when you guys were out at SHOT Show last year, and we're at that really nice restaurant that had the Wagyu, that's Snake River Farms. That's who provides them with their Wagyu. They do a Wagyu hot dog too. They're awesome. They're really good.
You mean Chef Steve Young at the Edge Steakhouse in Las Vegas at the Wynn? Oh wait, that's not the Wynn. Whatever that hotel is.
Yeah, he probably talked about me a lot while you were out there too. It's okay.
It's kind of cool. You guys don't know what it's like, but I was in the presence of a very famous, excellent chef.
That's a cool place. Same place I used to get my Wagyu from, though. It's not too fancy. Yeah, we used to get whole New Yorks from them and break them down. They were nice. We get them locally now. They're awesome. So they're great. We're working with we're thinking about putting a skirt steak on.
You age it?
No, we don't dry age it now. No. We're working with a couple of trying to get something that other people aren't running, some different stuff. And worked on I don't know if I put it on Instagram. Did I put an Instagram picture with the steak with the poached egg? That was really good. That's what we're thinking about doing over a seared roasted mushroom risotto for the winter. But skirt's great. If you can get a hold of skirt steak, it's awesome. It's really, really tender, really soft. You just don't overcook it. It can dry out a little bit, but it's great to slice. It's good on salads and stuff, if you want to have like a steak salad, but it's awesome on its own. It's got a really nice, rich, meaty flavor to it. We have a place called the Sloppy.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
Has anybody ever had a hamburger sandwich with a fried egg on top of it?
Yeah, we do one for brunch.
Yeah,
yes.
We do a brunch burger.
Gotta put some avocado on there too, man.
Yeah, we do it with roasted tomato. What do? We do roasted tomato, frizzled onions, a bacon mayonnaise, the burger. It's the Wagyu burger, the egg, and wasabi cheddar cheese.
Did Travis say avocado?
I'm in.
Yeah, he put slices. When I was in California, everybody put slices of avocado with egg and bacon on your burger. Brioche bun.
Just remind me.
Man, that stuff was good. I don't care what anybody says.
You got to come up. We only do brunch on a Saturday. Sarge, you got to come up so you can go. You can come in on a Saturday morning.
So you're telling me that they're going to go to all the trouble of raising this cow that can't walk around, and 3 times a day a dude has to come up and masturbate it, and perfect marbling or whatever, and then you're going to take that steak that you go to all that trouble to create the steak, and you're going to hamburger it?
No, there's lots of other cuts, and I'm getting a local Wagyu, so you don't have to whack any of nobody has to whack the cows. They're just hanging out there, just being cows. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of.
I thought they have to be massaged a couple of times a day, and they can only drink beer and
that's Kobe. That's actual Kobe. We're running the same breed of cow, but it's not Kobe. It doesn't go through that process.
Kind of like how.
It's like poor man's Kobe.
Kind of like how, in order for it to be considered cognac, it has to be made in the cognac region of France. Right. Otherwise, it's just brandy.
No, hold on.
Or bourbon.
Veal is from a cow that can't walk. Like you cannot.
It's a baby cow.
No,
it has to be. Veal has to.
That's white never moves. It's in a thing as it's born. It does not walk. Otherwise, the meat turns red. So it's anemic beef that it's only fed like certain things. That's
milk.
Beef. Yeah, it's fed
and
milk.
It's very young. It has to be under like 3 months old or something for it to be veal.
That's to get it to be veal. I'm saying, is it the same kind of thing as that? Like a Wagyu has to be like, it can't walk around. It has to be massaged. It has to eat a special diet. You're saying that it's just a breeding thing. Like
no.
You can just breed how to have that marbling. I thought you get that marbling through the techniques.
You can get a higher marbling. Yeah. In Japan, they grade. So Kobe is actually a place. The breed of cow is Wagyu, and the process that they do is what enables them to get that crazy marbling, that high fat content.
I thought it was the process, though. You're saying it's also the breed.
Yeah, it's part of the breed. Yeah, I mean I don't know genetically. I'm not sure if they're predisposed to be, a higher fat content animal like certain pigs would be or whatever. But they breed the fat in and out of pigs over the years too. But the process of feeding them the beer, the ale, whatever, massaging them and not letting them like run around all over the place is all, and the diet that they feed them, all brings up the fat content. But it's a Wagyu cow. So the same breed of cow is what I'm getting. I'm just getting it local, but they don't go through all that. So the marbling on the steaks that I get are still like really awesome, but they're not like the fattiest ones that you get from Japan. They grade theirs on a level of 1 to 12. You know, so what a 12 is crazy. If you look up pictures of, I can pull something up.
It looks like a brain, right?
Right. Yeah. There's like, it's just a little bit of pink.
What's the cost difference between like a piece of actual stuff from over there where they go through all that, and then a price of what you're buying over here? Like ounce or whatever.
I'm not sure. You know, it's been such a long time since I've actually looked up.
$35 compared to $350, or is it like $300 compared to $3,000? Or
it would be like, yeah, you'd be talking probably like if I would do. You're talking about like a menu price. If I would do something that would cost like $55, yeah, you're probably looking at $300 or $400 maybe for something that's like really, really high end desirable. But a lot of times it's not. It's the portion size too, where you're starting to get into like a 3-ounce portion of something that's going to cost you $120. You know, where you look at it and you're like, oh, $120 isn't bad, but you're only doing like a 3-ounce portion of it because it's, you know, it's super fatty. It's super rich. So a lot of times it's the accompaniments and the things that they're serving with it is more of the substantial part of the dish. Let me see if I can pull up here. Macy, quit it.
So, hey, from my belly.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll do Kobe grading chart.
Excuse the dead air while Midnight pulls up a picture of his meat chart.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm getting kisses and I'm pulling up, and she wants a belly rubs, and it's tough stuff.
Somebody who's rubbed that dog's belly a bunch of times wouldn't need like to multitask. It would just come.
I know. I work too much. I don't get to rub bellies like I used to.
This one time when I worked in the kitchen, so I was bored and I'd like to push the limits on stuff. So the way that it worked is I could park my car and open the door. And even though you're not supposed to leave the door open on a restaurant or whatever, I would do it once in a while, right? They're like mopping or something. So that gave me an idea. I could see my car from the thing. So I told my boss one day, I'm like, oh, we're getting our house sprayed for bugs. I bring my dog in. He's like, yeah, I don't care. So I would like leave my dog in my car in the back of the restaurant, and then like if somebody was like ordering a hamburger or something, it'd be like one for the customer, like one for the dog.
It's only stealing if you get caught.
It's only stealing if it leaves the property.
It wasn't stealing; it was going to my dog.
That's true. All right, so basically this is that's brisket. That's kind of a weird chart, but oh shit.
YouTube done outsmarted the cook boy.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you guys can see that. So this one is
you are just not winning, are you?
Yeah, it's weird. This trackpad's kind of weird sometimes.
Always right click and open a new window.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, it goes by 12s.
Right click on that and then open a new window, a new tab, and then
view image.
There you go.
And then you can zoom in and out, and depending on the size of the image, if you hover over it, it'll tell you how big it's going to be.
I don't know. I don't have a mouse though. I'm using a laptop. So how's that? There you go. Is that better?
Oh, it's even smaller. Great.
Yeah.
Is it? Shut up. No, is it?
Just click on the tab you opened.
It's like huge here.
Huge?
Huge.
That's what she said.
That's not
what she said.
And now I got white screen, right?
That's the ultimate Wagyu right there. It's all fat.
Yeah, it's 99.99% fat. Oh, great. Now I'm doing a shopping site. Okay.
How much
Translate this page.
How much of that can you read?
None of it. And it says I could translate it, but I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to get a.
It says hot
Careful what
dogs
you
or
click on
sandwiches
there.
at the top.
Jesus.
Travis is a school teacher. He can read that.
Well, he bailed already. It's a school night, man.
Yeah, he took off.
Oh, I didn't see it on my board down below.
All right.
Grim's a teacher. He can read it.
Yeah, Grim can read it.
Yeah. Well, Grim's the Grim Reaper. He doesn't need to read.
Yeah, he should be able to translate any language.
Yeah,
Grim's the Grim Reaper. He's got the final say.
Of it, Midnight. Click on all of them. See what comes up on your computer.
Now the dog is banging on the keys now.
Jesus. He'll have as much luck as you do pulling that stuff up.
Oh, Macy knows how to read it.
Yeah, she's trying to type it in.
She's got it down.
All right. All right, that's as good as we're getting here. I'm not messing around with this anymore. Okay. So yeah, so it goes by 12. I'm sure, you know what I mean, it's no big deal, right? You understand what I'm saying. What I'm getting locally is probably, I mean, I got some New Yorks in the other week that were really nice, and they're probably up in like the 7 or 8 range, which is actually kind of what I'd prefer. I think when you start getting up into like the 9, the 10s and 11s, where it's like really, really fatty, I'd prefer something a little meatier. But in Japan, that's kind of what they're looking for. They're looking for something that's really fatty, has a real like tender mouthfeel. It's got that
raw?
like, what's that?
They eat that raw then?
Yeah, you can eat it raw. Yeah, you do it like, well, in Italian, when you do like raw beef or something, they'll call it carpaccio. In Japan, they'll do something that's called tataki, where sometimes it's really, really lightly seared, like really hot, really high temperature, but very lightly seared on the outside, just for a couple seconds, and then serve it carpaccio style or raw. You'll see it as with like ponzu or something. Usually, you'll see it with or salads, sort of light appetizer type stuff. But yeah, you'll see it with that too.
You can always eat kibbe.
Eat what?
Kibbe.
What's kibbe?
Raw burger and pine nuts.
Oh. Yeah, like a tartare.
And
like that.
Sometimes they cook it, but I wouldn't.
I like to start out my meal right before, like as an appetizer, get some E. coli.
little, it's not, little E. coli is good for you. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Probiotics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of years of civilization demand that I eat my food cooked.
That's why, what is it, the gallbladder? I think the gallbladder is what helps digest raw foods, right? That's why our gallbladders are, I think it's our gallbladder. Our gallbladder as Americans, is it the appendix?
Yeah.
No, then that's why like our appendix as Americans is much smaller than like the people in Japan. Their appendixes are still really big because they eat a lot of raw stuff, raw meats.
What's your take on foie gras? Like that, the force-fed?
I don't like the idea of it. I don't like the idea of it. I don't. I've had it, and it's not really my cup of tea.
Well, I'm more along the lines of like talking about how they force feed the geese.
Yeah,
like, that doesn't seem very cool to me.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of it, for sure. I mean, I guess it is. It's it's kind of hypocritical to try and to choose one thing is okay and one thing isn't, right? Well, it's okay to do that, but it's okay to eat veal, but it's not okay to eat foie. It's not okay to eat veal, but it's okay to eat Wagyu. That's or Kobe. At least Kobe's getting a massage all the time. I don't know. It's hard. It's we're all wearing leather, right? And stuff like that. So it's at least they're catching a massage every once in a while. I don't know. I mean, I guess that there is a point where you can kind of take a stand and decide that you don't like something because of their treatment. Fine Ape says Tamagotchi. Isn't that the little toys?
Yeah, they're actually back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
all
is
about eating raw meat, which is what Biker Bob said. Home of the Brave, that is not what Biker Bob said, and we will not be repeating what Biker Bob said about eating or feeding raw meat.
Yeah, we don't listen to Bob.
Yeah. Wrong topic, Bob.
No, Bob, that is not what we meant.
Yeah.
Dead Horse down in the chat a little while ago said he didn't see this on the front page. Gee, when I tried to paste it on the front page, it says this. It tells. Oh, oops, my thing just skipped. It said something about this post. This post was not added to the feed.
Mm-hmm.
Please check your privacy settings.
So, guy that can't right-click or screen share going to complain about trouble.
I'm just asking, what can I do to fix that?
I think that there's more going on than I can answer that quickly because you have issues right-clicking and screen share, and so who knows what's going on your machine. The fact that everybody else is working, I don't think there's a glitch, so it's probably just some either issue with cookies or something. It's possible that you've got cookies. Yeah, whole another subject. I feel like Night Strike has let you all down if I have to even bring them up, but yeah, all kinds of things that you'll go to a website, let's say, and let's say it's weather, and you go there once or twice, and at some point it pops up and says, "Can we know your location?" And you'll say, "Sure," because that's going to help me out. So then that way I know the weather. Well, they're dropping a cookie on your machine that every time you show up, they're going to go, "Oh, there's our cookie. What's this guy's deal? Oh, here's a bunch of attributes that we've saved for this guy, probably in your cookie." So that means on your machine. So that's a nice, helpful cookie that makes it easier for you. You don't have to keep telling it your location every time you go to the weather website. Problem is that weather website isn't doing it for shits and giggles. They need to make a buck. So one of the other things they might do is have ads on that site, and you're opening the door to all kinds of goodness when you tell a site that has to make money that it's okay to use cookies. When you go to Night Strike site, guntube.org, for gun channels, we're not making money off you, and I'm not selling your info to anybody. So if there's cookies, they're doing stuff automatically, but there's certainly no extra cookies gathering data. When you go to that weather site, you don't know, or at least a lot of people don't pay attention to whether or not they're going to collect a bunch of other data or have not so much malicious, but nuisance cookies. So you could have any number of those things. I don't know how you run your computer. If more than one person runs the computer, now take all those variables times 2 or times 3 if one person uses it.
So I feel like I have to make the joke. Midnight Range TM, I like chocolate chip cookies, just FYI.
That's good.
So next time you're baking chocolate chip cookies, let me know.
Butterscotch cookies are pretty good.
I got to go off to Dream World, everybody. Thanks for the invite, Midnight. I appreciate it. And good conversation, everybody. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, man.
All right, bye.
Yep. Good night.
Yeah, good time for me to go ahead and drop out, too.
See you guys. Thanks. They're talking about
Night, George.
I think I'm jumping out, too. Jeez.
Dippity dip.
Everybody
beat it. Get the hell out.
They're all leaving to get out of the way of the epicness that will be the pizza bracket.
Well, I guess I better go to work now since it's that late. So
see you, buddy.
Have fun with pizza.
Yep.
How can you not have fun with pizza?
Exactly. How can you not? As long as you're not talking about the hot dogs.
Hot dog pizza.
All right.
Hot dog pizza.
Macy?
All right.
Macy, should we do the pizza bracket? What do you think? Yes? Pizza bracket? All right. Well, give her one last belly rub and then put her in her little bed. Say hi to everybody. Say bye, everybody. Belly rubbins. Belly rubbins. Come on. She sheds like crazy. Oh, man. She's a mess. All right.
I'm going to send you a box of fuzz.
A box of fuzz? Yeah, that dog sheds like mittens, like whole mittens come off of her, huh? All right. Pizza bracket. Bang this out. C4 took off. He's scared, but he didn't know. Einstein said the room is half empty. Yeah, everybody took off. Oh, he went to eat some pizza. Look at him.
He started talking about a pizza bracket, but everybody thought that he was bringing in some kind of pizza that he cooked, so they all booked out of here.
Yeah, they all bolted.
Wait, he brought pizza? Oh, I'm out here. I'll see you guys.
No, thanks.
No, we'll save you one slice, Night Strike.
No, I don't need a slice. I'm good. Sorry for my slice.
Night Strike prefers his pizza delivered.
Home of the hardly. Home of the Brave says those belly rubs or Kobe rubs. A little bit of both. Little slap, a little pat, little massage.
And that dog? No wonder you're a wasabi puppy.
Yep, she's tender. She's got a good life. So
this would be a calzone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the the hybrid,
or a hot pocket, or the little pizza bites.
That's my new thing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's my new thing.
Pink out in the chat. I feel those rubs are what ruined Kobe's game. Kobe ruined Kobe's game.
Yeah, but it didn't ruin his marriage. Not with that big ass ring he gave the wife afterwards. Sean said you didn't answer his question, Night Strike. What was that?
Sean.
Oh, did you shoot? Oh, yeah, that's right. Those clean bore things, or what are they called? The shotgun things?
Yeah.
Have you tried them yet?
No, I haven't tried them yet. The clean shot.
Have you shot a shotgun dirty enough to warrant shooting them?
That's another thing I need to go do.
Yeah, you gotta
go out and do some shooting. I haven't been able to. So
yeah, you gotta put a lot of rounds through them for that to make a whole lot of difference.
Well, I figure a box 100 target load will probably do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. There you go.
Oh, I thought that was very, very consistent also. Ketchup. A giant bowl of ketchup.
There you go.
Yeah, she doesn't like tomato soup.
I did a strata. There's a thing called a strata. It's basically like a French toast, or a bread pudding, but savory. And I tried to do a grilled cheese and tomato soup strata one time. It was okay. It was kind of weird, but it was okay. I did the bread and did layers of cheese in it, and mixed the cheese in with the basically a custard, but like a savory custard. It'd be called like a royale, but in French. And then used tomato soup as the liquid for it. It was a little weird. It was okay. It was cool if you knew what it was. If you've never, if you weren't into food, like into trying fun food and crazy food, you'd be like, this sucks, but that's cool.
You ever been to one of those places where they figure out the essence of, I don't know, parsley, and then they freeze it, or they turn it into dust, or they make it into candy, but it's really a piece of pork chop, and then the thing that looks like cream sundae is a turkey dinner
or whatever it is.
I did a class on the molecular stuff once. And so we did some powders, and we did some spherification where you do the droplets and stuff. You make caviar or whatnot.
Are we talking about THC or food here?
Food. And then there's a product out there. It's called Versa Whip. That stuff's crazy. You could whip water. You could it's a powder that you can mix into any kind of liquid really. And you'll be able to whip it almost like egg whites. And you can actually put it into just plain old water and it'll whip. It's really wild. So people use that for a lot of the foams and stuff like that you see. They'll put them in the CO2 cartridge, like the guns. They'll put liquids in there and foam will come out. It's pretty wild.
So people buy a piece of pumpkin pie at your place, and then they're like, "Oh, look at this pumpkin pie and all this whipped cream." They go to eat it, and it's just whipped water.
That comes straight out the tap.
So it's like that thing in Demolition Man, like in the car when it crashes, just a little cartridge just goes.
Yeah. Just gets all, and you gotta break yourself out of it. You've been absorbed by the pie.
That sounds like the name of a B movie, and not necessarily a good B movie. The Day the Pie Ate Pennsylvania.
Yeah. My pie ate, and Mother Russia, pie eats you. Or is Yakov Smirnoff when you need him? Smirnoff. I wonder if that guy's still around. Pink says, I remember Whippets from the 80s. Psycho says all that shit's pretentious. Some of it is pretty annoying. I think some of it is really cool. I think if you do it there's a lot of fun, playful stuff that you can do. A lot of like tongue-in-cheek kind of fun foods that you can make, just like G had that grilled cheese and tomato soup. Like to take that tomato soup and spherify it and encapsulate it and have like tomato soup caviar almost. It's pretty neat, and be able to actually like put that on top of the sandwich as a garnish or something. That's some really cool stuff. I think it can get a little bit, like you say, pretentious. I guess that's a good word for it but there's a lot of egos in food. There's a lot of chefs out there that are like very egotistical.
So egotistical that they invite a bunch of people in and then get all bored with them, yawn in front of them.
Yeah, so it happens. Like Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Not necessarily that works. Bruce Wayne and Batman have been in the same place at the same time. It's just not the same Batman.
Yeah, it's not like Night Strike is dressing up somebody else as Joe Rogan.
Spaghetti Jello.
You know what? Night Strike is leaving this chat, so take that.
Spaghetti Jello.
Night Strike.
Spaghetti-O Jello. So like you thicken the tomato, the sauce part of it, and you just have that would just be a pile of mush.
Yeah. Just gel it.
Yeah.
It'd be
cut a cube of spaghetti. Here's your cube of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cook it, you mix it all together, and then you just put it in the fridge. Done.
We're down to 4. We might have to go to... See, Sarge, I told you this bracket would be quick. There's only 4 of us left.
Yeah, and I got to work in the morning, so we're down to 3.
Oh, look at this guy quitting.
Yep.
That's
I will see you, gentlemen.
See you, bud.
Hot dogs or sandwiches?
Yes, they are.
Andy.
another nonsense.
Jello.
Yes, spaghetti.
Are you eating this?
I'm not a fan of cold pasta, so no.
That's the only reason?
What the fuck is that? Holy shit.
A little mold made out of SpaghettiOs, evidently, and then they put a bunch of those half a hot dog thingies in there.
The Vienna sausages?
Yeah. They're not really a half a hot dog. I'm sure that's a continuous stream of hot dog that just gets cut every 3 inches or whatever.
Potatoes. What is your email? Potatoesandlead@gmail.com. I think.
I don't know. All this spherification of food just sounds like one step closer to having everyone eating pills. More so than they do now. No, if I want to pretend like I'm an astronaut, I'll go put myself in the dryer and go from there.
Address not found.
Wah, wah, wah.
Here, let's do this.
Taters is all one word, right?
Yeah, potatoes and lead. Oh, did I mess it up? Maybe I misspelled it. I suck like that. POTATOESANDLEAD. All right. Potato sand lead. Potato sand lead. There you go.
All one word.
Did they ever have you make eggs in aspic?
I've used aspic before, but never. I don't think I ever used it with eggs. We used to use it a lot with shit.
That doesn't sound very appetizing.
Yeah, that would be gross. I don't know where you went to school, but that's.
Well, no, I thought I just dumped Hangouts. I crossed. Yeah, I thought I just totally shut the show off there. We used to use it for like canapes, like hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that, and you'd see it on top of seafood and fruits. You see it a lot on like fruit tarts and stuff like that. It's just like a thin layer of like, it's almost like gelatin. Aspic is a vegetable derived gelatin type thing, I think, right? I think it's from, I think so.
Gentlemen.
What's up, Blake?
How you doing?
It's a meat jelly. I think the difference between aspic and gelatin is that you make the aspic in your kitchen as opposed to gelatin. They did all that gross stuff somewhere else, but you got to boil the aspic. I thought that's why nobody makes it.
Well, that's what you do with gelatin too. You can get the gelatin sheets, and then you just
but aspic start with a bone, and like you boil the bone until it's gross.
Oh yeah, that's how they make head cheese.
Yeah.
Almost any meat, poultry, or fish can be used to make gelatin. So aspic is the.
Is it a specific?
They're saying aspic is a dish in which the ingredients are set into gelatin. So the gelatin comes from the critter. Anyway, the way I've seen it done is, I got a picture of it here, something like this.
So to aspic is actually like a technique. The gelatin is what you use to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I've seen it like this, where it looks like clear, unflavored gelatin.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's a gross, half-cooked poached egg in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's like brunch. That was like a thing for a while. And then my question is, because there's no way I'm ever going to eat that. My question is, what does the gelatin taste like? Salty? Or is it pure? It tastes like cartilage? Because unflavored gelatin that sets up would be like eating cartilage off of a bone, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have much of a flavor at all. Yeah,
but it would taste like eating an eraser, like the consistency.
Not quite. Well, I mean, I guess you would have to make it really dense to do something like that. Yeah, when you do it on top of like fruit or something like a fruit tart, it's like very, very thin. So it doesn't, you don't really even notice it so much. But something like that, yeah, that's almost like a freaking clear gummy bear, huh?
That's what I'm saying. It's like an unflavored gummy bear with an egg in the middle. Wouldn't that be gross? Somebody want to eat that?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's from France. That's when they got so much time on their hands. So like, if we keep boiling this bone, eventually we get this clear crap. And if we let that clear stuff set, it's gross. Let's stick an egg in the middle of that.
Let's make it happen. Somebody get on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we did them, you also do you use it for like one type of charcuterie where you're like when you make your own sausage and stuff like that. A lot of times on a tray, on a display, you brush a little bit of it on, and it just kind of gives it like a nice little shine and glaze to it. It's a very old school kind of thing to do.
So basically, it's like Armor All for food.
Yeah, like
kind of
the freshest fruit, or they don't want to pay for like the ripest stuff. They'll just wipe some of this aspic shellac on top.
Hey, the apples in the back are starting to smell. Just spray some of this on it. It'll be fine. What about the place where the rats eat it? I'll use it like Bondo.
Just boil some cow bones until it gets gross, and then skim some of that off and let it cook.
Bone jello.
Yeah.
Some of that bone jelly.
But how about this gross thing? So let's say you took a bunch of what I consider some of the grossest vegetables to eat, which are lima beans and carrots, and corn's fine. But then you put that all into a gelatin egg.
That's succotash, right?
Yeah, succotash. Yep. Except inside of a clear gelatin egg. That'd be like punishment. I'd be like, what did I do wrong? Why do I have
to eat? Like child protect. If you did that to a kid, they'd take your kid away and put him in foster care.
I mean, that sounds like some kind of weird ass thing that you plant. Like, I don't really want all my corn or all my beans or all my carrots in this, like, equally divided up into their own little areas. I want them to all mix and be free and all that. Seems like something like that. You just throw it out in the yard and, see, my vegetables live together. Why can't we?
Yeah, why can't we just get along like my beans do? Yeah.
And I killed the cat. Yay!
Oh, somebody's got to do it. What's going on?
The bracket ain't getting any closer.
No, that's what I was gonna say. What's going on, Taters? What's going on? And we'll do the bracket.
What is the bracket?
Best pizza.
Best pizza?
Yeah.
Oh.
Best type of pizza, not like brand or anything like that, but like, pepperoni. Hawaiian? Hawaiian's one of them. Meat lovers, margarita, that kind of thing.
What's a margarita pizza?
It's mozzarella with fresh tomato and basil.
It's like a simple real.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a good pizza. I just didn't know it was called margarita.
Yeah, very, very simple.
So we're talking some type of bread, some type of sauce, and some type
not
of
always. Yeah,
margarita?
I mean, margarita doesn't have a sauce, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, so like an actual type of pizza, like a example of a pizza, right? What you would order. I want to order a pepperoni and ham or whatever. Not just toppings, but like most of these have names. Okay. So yeah, we got like a ham and pineapple. It's like Hawaiian pizza, and then a white pizza with tomato and broccoli. That's a good one.
That's racist.
Barbecue chicken, buffalo chicken, all veggies, mushroom, and then I differentiated. I put mushroom and onion because that's a popular one. Anchovy and olives because we talked about anchovy and olives the other day. Sausage, pepperoni,
cheese
separate. Yeah. Oh, I have the barbecue chicken ranch. That's a popular one for meat lovers, and then just a plain cheese, and then what some people they would call like a supreme pizza, or like I've seen it. They call it the kitchen sink pizza, and it's just like tons of stuff. Yeah. Mediterranean, which usually has like sun-dried tomatoes and olives, maybe spinach. Sometimes you'll see like artichoke hearts or something like that on there. It was really good. And usually like feta cheese. And like a pesto pizza. You do but we could actually do that with a cheesesteak pizza instead of the pesto. That would be a good one to add there.
Oh, come on.
I was going to do a chicken. I was going to do a chicken pesto, but I don't think anybody would do a chicken pesto.
That's not a thing either. What, are you just making shit up? Like the obscurepizzas.com and looking at what pizzas two people have made?
Have that.
Where's the Slim Jim sandwich pizza?
We have one of those on our menu. We call it chicken pesto pizza.
Oh, come on. Number one, chicken has no business on a pizza. And number two, there's no 3 cheese pizza on any of this. All this meat-centric.
No, there was just a plain cheese.
Yeah, that's not the same thing as a 3 cheese.
All right. We'll do a 3 cheese. What are the 3 cheeses? What would you want? Mott's?
Oh, I don't know. I think they put some kind of white cheese, and then they put some kind of a hard, salty cheese, and then some sort of some places put an orange, and some people, I don't know. It depends on the place, right? But they'll usually put. Sometimes they call whatever Parmesan, and then feta.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the pizza.
A lot of times
you can get 3.
We'll just call it let's call it super cheese pizza, because we do mozzarella, provolone. Like Parmesan is a good one to put on there. Sometimes you'll see
mozzarella and provolone is fake. Anybody who's saying those are separate 2 cheeses, it's fake. It's fake.
What do you mean they're fake? What do you mean they're separate? They're not separate cheeses.
They're the same cheese with 2 different labels on it, so they probably can upsell you or something. There's no difference between provolone and mozzarella, please. There's one square sometimes and the other one's round.
Oh, so the shape is the difference. Aged provolone's really salty. Aged provolone's like nice and salty. That would be a good one if you wanted to put a salty cheese on there, because it condenses all those flavors, keeps the salt there.
Smoked provolone is way different.
Mm-hmm.
Most provolone is smoked.
Mm-hmm. Well, so we'll do the G Web special. We'll do the super cheese pizza.
Sounds good to me. I like cheese pizza.
Yeah. So, ham and pineapple versus the tomato and broccoli white pizza, like a white pizza with ricotta, mozzarella, garlic, that kind of stuff. No sauce, tomato and broccoli, fresh tomato and broccoli. Ape?
These, let's see, one I've had, and it's not my favorite or that. Despite how much I would rather have any other pizza besides the Hawaiian, I'll have to go with the Hawaiian.
G?
There's no possible way on any circumstances I'd eat either one of these. One of them was pineapple and ham.
Yeah.
And the other one was chicken and broccoli.
Nope. Broccoli and tomato.
Oh, broccoli and tomato. All right. So I'm picking broccoli and tomato because there's no meat on it. But broccoli is basically water with some green holding it together. When you cook it, it turns into a puddle of water with some smushed green around it, laying in the middle of it. Right?
Well, you're cooking shitty broccoli.
Oh, come on. Broccoli is water waiting to become a puddle of water. And what was the other thing?
Broccoli. Way overcooking it.
Broccoli becomes cauliflower and call it good.
And then whatever the other thing was also had water. And then the other one, pineapple, has no business on a pizza. It's sweet, so it has no business anywhere except dessert. And then it also loses its water. So anybody that wants, look, there's water to drink, and then there's soup, I guess, which is basically water to drink in a smaller, rounder cup. And then there is food. So you have a business putting water on food.
Can you dip food in water?
Can you water food and dip?
I'm talking like in the kitchen. They should not be putting stuff out to you to eat as with water on it. Now, what you do with it on your plate is your business. But I'm just saying, I don't want to be offered something to eat that's got water laying in it. Broccoli and pineapple are both depositing water on my pizza, and there's no way I'm eating it.
So you prefer that once they take it out of the oven that they give your pizza a good towel down to make sure there's no excess water on it?
No, but I won't order toppings.
No cheese either, because that's pretty watery.
You guys are picking like if you make the pizza or like your grandma's perfect pizza or something. Like you're picturing your perfect pizza, but you're going to tell me like you go into a place and order pineapple on pizza, it's consistent? No way. And you order broccoli on pizza and it's consistent, I can tell you that's not a fact. That's like spinach on pizza. I mean, I've had perfect spinach on pizza before, but 99% of the time it's gross. There's no way I'm ever ordering it on a pizza.
Yeah, spinach is a tough one. I like baby spinach put on like as it comes out, so it's still it's still nice.
Like it's like an oregano, but I'm just saying the broccoli to me would be too much of a thing. If they put it on like towards the end or something, but I like my pizzas cooked.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want a green thing on there.
All right. Tatus, you're talking about like you might like that Hawaiian pizza, huh?
I love me some Hawaiian pizza. And I like broccoli, but it does not belong on pizza.
Mm-hmm. I am going to tie it up. We're going to go to the chat because I do like broccoli on pizza. I actually like it. I like it if it's chopped a little smaller, so it's not like big chunks. But
just the flowers. So you're picking your perfect hand-picked best broccoli pizza ever ate.
Yep.
You're talking
I'm choosing between the two. I'm thinking like the best ham and pineapple pizza versus the best tomato and broccoli pizza. I would choose the tomato and broccoli with like, nice garlic on there.
Now you're talking
we're going to the chat.
White pizza or a red pizza?
Yeah. White. Yep.
And then dried tomatoes or regular real tomatoes?
Regular.
Okay. But they're still going to get wet. But yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they cook down a little bit, but there's not any sauce on the pizza either. So, if you get a little bit of whatever.
So you're saying just like a margarita. You're not even saying like a white sauce. You're talking like no sauce.
Right. Yeah, like ricotta and like mozzarella, heavy garlic.
Then I'm definitely going broccoli and tomato. I was thinking gross, thick mozzarella cheese with broccoli in it, and it gets those little like lakes of water underneath each broccoli.
Nope.
You're talking like that in that one.
Yeah. So out in the chat, ham and pineapple or white pizza with tomato and broccoli. General Relativity is on strike. He's not eating either of them. Not either. He's damn pizza. This show sucks.
These are the kind of pizzas that you go into a place for like an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet, and that's what there's a lot left of.
Yeah. You got to get the ham and pineapple. You get like one sliver taken off of one pizza, and the white tomato and broccoli will only eat last, and then you ask for a side of sauce to dip it in.
Yeah, there's like a ham and pineapple with one slice missing, but all the pineapple's still there where the slice was.
Red Horse on that channel says broccoli and tomatoes.
Yeah. Hawaiian, broccoli up there. Both broccoli.
I counted
broccoli's
16,
winning.
I counted 16 people said pineapple and ham.
He's got.
Sorry, 26. 26 people. 36 people.
36 people. Brent.
Sean saying Hawaiian.
Sean saying Hawaiian. Seven Wonders is saying Hawaiian. No, now we actually do have to count, don't we?
All right, so
you do Ape. You do pineapple. I will do broccoli.
I don't know. Pineapple seems like be kind of rough.
Ozzy is saying a Reuben pizza. What is that? Like ham and sauerkraut?
No, you would do like corned beef and sauerkraut. Big Mac pizzas are awesome too. You put the lettuce on last, so it's still. Oh, it's good.
I enjoy eating, and I enjoy eating different kinds of foods. But if you're going to start suggesting that lettuce goes anywhere near a pizza,
you've never had a taco pizza?
Of course not. I'm from Chicago. I eat real pizzas. I don't go around making weird crap up just to try to impress young children or Europeans. I don't know what you're saying.
Europeans, 9mm shooters.
I'm counting 2 Hawaiians on the YouTube.
That's it. Yeah, and then broccoli one.
Did you ever end this? People are still voting.
No, they'll move on. Doesn't matter.
.org.
Barbecue chicken or buffalo chicken pizza?
Tater's gonna have mine. I haven't eaten chicken since 1989, and I'll never eat one
again. I'm gonna go. Barbecue chicken. Taters, you got 2 votes, man.
Barbecue chicken.
Oh, Ape.
Not that it matters either way I vote. I like them both.
I like them both too, but if I had to pick, it's barbecue.
You know what? Just to be.
What's buffalo anyway?
I'm going to say buffalo.
I usually do. A lot of times I'll use like chicken fingers or something that are crunchy, but I'll do like toss them in hot sauce and have blue cheese dressing and stuff like that on it, or blue cheese crumbles.
So buffalo means hot sauce and blue cheese
and vinegar.
Yeah. Vinegar, hot sauce, a little bit of butter.
Butter? What are you talking about? Really?
That's what they toss the chicken in. Yeah, buffalo sauce. It's like butter, vinegar.
Yeah, a lot of times when you do wings, like if you do hot wings versus medium wings, a lot of times they'll just add like melted butter in to cut the heat, and that's what the hot sauce is actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So next one, mushroom and onion versus veggie. So do you want all the veggies or do you just want mushroom and onion? Ape?
I'm going to go with mushroom and onion.
G?
Veggie implies a bunch of that wet stuff that gets all wet everywhere. So that's always gross. And mushrooms being potentially bad, but usually pretty decent. And onions are always good. So mushroom and onion for damn sure. That's a very good pizza.
Taters?
Mushroom and onion.
Yeah, I'm going mushroom and onion too.
Makes it all soggy.
Yep.
I only ever get my pizzas from places where I can get it like extra crispy. So I'll be like, can you make it well done? And they'll go like, yeah. And I'll be like, I want it more done than that. And they'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
And if they're like, all right, I know what you mean. That's where I'm going to order my pizzas from. If I'm like, well done, yeah. And you can do it more than that. And they're like, well, I don't know. Then I'm like, fuck, I'm not buying my pizza from you. Like, I want it from somebody who understands what somebody wants a well done pizza wants. I want like the cheese to turn brown once in a while. You know, I want like burnt cheese.
Yeah, you want it to like kind of brown. We have a guy that comes in all the time and gets that, and they'll put it in and they'll put his name on it, and it'll say, they used to say burn it, but now they just put his name on it, and people ask me, they'd be like, oh, what does this mean? Why are they memoing his name? And I'll say the same thing. I'll be like, okay, make it like do what you normally would, and then make it well done. And then leave it in for 4 more minutes, or leave it in for 4 more minutes. And then when you think it's burnt, leave it in for another minute. That's how he likes it. Yeah. Super, super.
Want the crust to actually be crusty.
Yeah. Like it's like eating shards of glass. It's horrible.
Well, a good crust, a good like water crust, I'll have that. But have you ate pizza like that where just the cheese starts to get like that?
Yeah. It starts to brown up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that just turns the cheese from like warm cheese into like, boom. Like that's how you turn cheese on, right? That's how you get it.
Some of the best cheese is when it kind of bubbles over the pizza a little bit, gets onto the pan, and turns into that crispy little puck.
It's like the ends of the nachos, whatever you call those little nacho stragglers.
The one of the coolest burgers, and I've done this just for myself playing around at the restaurant. I was watching. I don't know if it was Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives or one of those kind of shows that they would go to like little mom and pop places. And what they did was would do it with burgers. And they put the burger on the flat top and then flip it. And when they flipped it, right away they put the cheese on top. But they'd put like 3 times more cheese than you were supposed to, or twice as much cheese as you would think, even like a lot of cheese. And then put the little lid on it so it would help melt. And of course, what happened was the cheese would melt. It would melt down onto the flat top, and it basically would just get onto the flat top and like cook down and get like all crispy. It would melt down, and all the water would get out of it. It would evaporate out of it, and then it would take that cheese from the flat top and fold it back on top of the burger. So the top of the burger was like this cheese crunchy cracker. That's really cool. That was a neat thing. I should do that. I should do a little video on doing something.
What is
that? That was awesome.
Greek cheese called where they let it burn?
If you do it in Italian, you do it with Parmesan, and you put it in the oven.
I'm talking about the Greek cheese where it literally goes on fire and then you eat it. You squirt lemon on it and then you eat it. But that gets that. Yeah, exactly.
I think it is, or some shit.
Exactly.
I don't remember.
The bottom of that, you ate that though, right?
I don't think I've ever had it.
Oh, they
it's
have
fabulous.
They have a Greek festival here every year at the Greek Center or whatever. So I can get that every once in a while when I remember to go over there. They'll give you like a chunk, I don't know, it's like as big as the size of a deck of cards, and they light it on fire, and the one side turns into what you're talking about, like if you would just throw shredded cheese on a grill. Turns into like that, except way saltier than what you're talking about, probably because it's like a real salty cheese. But yeah, that's that if you were to just take a handful of shredded cheese and throw it on a grill, and then flip that over, like that should be a dish because that would be amazing to eat.
Yeah, they in Italian, if you take Parmesan cheese and either cook it in a pan and do that, or in the oven. The term it's called a frico, Frico. It's called a frico, and you'll see that sometimes you go to a restaurant and get a Caesar salad, and you get that like Parmesan tweel, that Parmesan chip. That's usually what it is. So yeah, if you have a nonstick pan at home, just get shredded Parmesan, not the grated shit. It has to be like a decent shredded parm, and just sprinkle it in the pan and let it kind of melt down, and flip it over, and you take it out, and you can actually, because it's cool, because when it's still warm, you can mold it. So you could even make like little straws out of it or something like that.
So forget your straws and your red vine. We want cheesy straws.
Yeah.
Man, I want Saganaki now.
Frico.
That's what it's called. And then they pour wine on it, right? Or some kind of booze, I think. And then they squirt it out with lemon juice. So it's like crazy flavor.
Saganaki.
Cool.
Try that sometime.
Delicious.
You have to look it up. It's neat.
Look at that cheese crisp. That sounds like something. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be like like if you like the Frico, that's an Italian thing. And you see it a lot on, like I said, like Caesar salads and stuff. Places will do it. Or you'll see it sometimes, they'll make them and then break them up on top of like a pasta dish. That's really good because it's real salty. It's good. Kind of mix it in and it seasons it. Ape, you're up first on this one. Anchovies and olives and the old sausage pizza. Straight up sausage.
Sausage.
Yeah. G?
What are they again?
Anchovy and olives, sausage, or sausage.
Well, you didn't specify the kind of olives, so
any kind.
I'm going to go with the sausage because you can poke that off of there easier than the anchovies, and when they leave, they don't leave as much residue behind. But I don't like either one.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I'd eat the shit out of a thin crust pizza, right, with the square cut. That was sausage and just sausage and cheese. But like we cooked it out of a sausage and cheese, and holy moly. Back when I used to eat meat still, that was what we'd
eat. Taters, anchovy and olives, and sausage.
Sausage, because yeah, I don't do anchovies. No way.
I actually I do like anchovy and olive. And honestly, depending on how it was made, I might on some days pick an anchovy and olive over a sausage, but generally I think got to go with sausage.
What kind of olive?
I like Kalamata. Kalamata's nice.
So green.
I don't like a super tart, real sour olive. I like ones that tend to be a little earthier, I guess.
Green olive though?
Not as much as I like the Kalamata or black. I'm not as much into green. They're a little more sour. Yeah. Pepperoni versus chicken, bacon chicken ranch, or ranch bacon chicken, or whatever. That might be a tough one. This might be a tough one. I think if you had a really good pepperoni versus a really good bacon chicken ranch, I think I got to go with the bacon chicken ranch. Taters?
Usually I'm not a big fan of pepperoni. If it's like really, really, really good pepperoni, then I like it. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna go for the chicken bacon ranch.
G?
Number 1, not eating no fucking chicken. Number 2, I'm wondering, back in the day, I used to like the shit out of pepperoni because it's just spicy meat. But I'll bet you pepperoni's gross compared to 20 years ago. I've been eating pepperoni for 29 years. I'll bet you the pepperoni I ate is before some of y'all were even born, right? Pepperoni's as sauce nowadays compared to what pepperoni was like. So I'll bet, because I can't imagine saying somebody doesn't like pepperoni is like saying somebody doesn't like bacon. But you could say that if you only ate gross bacon, right? So I'm thinking, well, my answer is pepperoni because never chicken. But I'm thinking pepperoni might suck now. I'd have to know. You'd have to ask somebody who really likes pepperoni if it's consistent now from back in the day. Because I'll bet you it's some kind of process. It's like the difference between a hamburger and a Wasagi whatever hamburger, right? McDonald's hamburger and a Wasagi hamburger.
So then that's what I was saying. Like 9 times out of 10, I don't like pepperoni. But
now it's probably just
like a really, really, really good pizza place that's like, you know, expensive. I got a couple pizza places around here that are like pretty expensive and they're really nice, like fine dining experiences, except it's pizza. And that place, like those places, the pepperoni is phenomenal. But like just your average pepperoni, I don't even like it.
But I'll bet you pepperoni again, it's just like a placeholder. It's just a round thing that's edible that they can put on a pizza, and it's salty probably. So it's probably disgusting compared to a real slice of actual pepperoni sausage.
Yeah, it's full of fillers and just got enough spice in it to make it taste like generic.
Yeah, it's more about the spices. Yeah, it's more about the spices than anything else.
Are you talking, if we're talking pepperoni at like a Domino's or a Pizza Hut, what you're talking about isn't any spice. It's like it's some formula of like this can be in a blind taste test across the entire world. People raise their hand and say pepperoni, and in a taste test across the entire world, because they're making that same pepperoni everywhere, the entire world has to agree it's not too spicy and it's not too not spicy. That's the exact middle pepperoni that Pizza Hut has determined through world taste testing doesn't bother anybody and is adequate enough to pass. You know what I mean? Like the worst middle of the ground. Every flavor you eat at McDonald's or Burger King has like been tested like that. Like everybody goes, but nobody goes, oh wow, because that would mean somebody else goes, oh, this is too salty, or this is too this is too hot.
Yeah, you're cooking for the masses.
Yeah. It's like the ultimate cafeteria food. Like this is the cafeteria food that the most people wouldn't, not eat.
Yeah. All right. Ape? Chicken bacon ranch, probably, huh? I think did you do a chicken bacon ranch video?
I think I have. Well, first, I'd like to say pepperoni is kind of at least in my mind, kind of like the classic standard pizza. Growing up, I really liked that, but that's because we only bought the cheap stuff, and usually pepperoni was the cheapest pizza that actually had stuff on it other than just, a boring, plain old cheese pizza. But I will have to go with the chicken bacon ranch.
Ugh. Wow. I'll bet you the original problem started when, like, probably cartoons and stuff were trying to make margarita pizza, and had tomatoes on it. And then people were like, oh, okay, that's a pizza. And then somebody was like, oh, that must be pepperoni. And then click got put to, turned into pepperoni, and all of a sudden that's what a pizza's supposed to look like.
Ape, you're up first. Oh, go ahead.
What's so bad about chicken, G? I know you don't eat meat, but seems like chicken bothers you like
you
more.
Guys don't want to hear. You like eating chicken, you don't want to hear.
Is it the cruel conditions that they're kept in? Is it just
chicken doesn't have everything stand on? There's no way that you can defend chicken, but we won't get into that because we're talking pizza.
All right.
Meat love. This is like from one opposite end of the spectrum to the other. That's why I put them together. I thought it'd be fun. Ape, meat lovers pizza versus just a plain old cheese pizza.
I'm gonna have to go meat lovers.
G, do I need to ask you?
Well, it's cheese, but even back in the day, I know what a meat lover was, and the bacon was always raw in there. They put too much on there. Unless you got somebody who really gives a shit, like this is going out to my kids or something, like I want to make sure this pizza's perfect. If you got just some kid, they just throw handfuls of stuff on there. Everything else is cooked, but the bacon's usually like half cooked or something because they know it's going through. I never liked too many meats because then you'd get some like gross stuff happening in there.
Mm-hmm. Taters?
Yeah, cheese pizza.
Plus a cheese pizza, they're saying meat lovers sorry. No, I'm not sorry because, like I say, I never enjoyed a meat lovers anyway. I'd rather have just a plain old sausage and actually have some cheese. I like to be able to wrap my thin slice up around the sausage, not just have it crumble off the top. Then you might as well just eat a hamburger. But the plain cheese, when you cook it extra well done, that's a whole experience right there. The thin
light sauce. Cheese pizza with light sauce.
I hear you.
Just a little bit of sauce.
Personally, it's like coffee to me. Like I'll take it with extra sauce because I can handle that some days. You know, medium sauce. I don't care. Light sauce. I'm down with just bread and cheese. I'll take it anyway with sauce.
We got to go to the chat because I'm taking meat lovers. I don't care if it falls off when you eat it because then you got a snack after you eat your pizza.
I hear you. But gross. Did the cost of bacon being gross on there? I guess it gives you something to give that fat dog. We know what his answer is going to be. that fat dog.
Yeah, Macy. Macy, you want some? You want some bacon? She's looking for bacon. All right, go meat lovers. Meat lovers.
Got a lot of meat lovers out there. A lot of people like their meat.
That's right.
So what do they put on them? Hamburger, pepperoni?
No, usually you'll see like pepperoni, sausage, ham, and
bacon. No way! Come on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Yeah, pepperoni, ham, sausage, bacon usually are like the 4 big ones.
So they could call it like cow and pork lovers because you really don't want all meats there.
Well, you want to throw some horse on there?
Duck.
Chicken.
They don't usually put chicken on a meat lovers, though, do they?
No, they don't.
Nah.
The sausage might be chicken based.
Turkey based. They could put turkey in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or soybean based. If it's
you guys know most Subway meats are turkey based. Even like the ham is actually made out of turkey. Yet I think
it's a blend sometimes, yeah.
It's mostly turkey based. My wife works at Subway. Like it's mostly turkey. Even though they charge you more for the turkey because it's turkey.
You mean when they say it's turkey ham? Like, then it costs more?
Yeah. When they admit that it's turkey, it costs more. But when they're telling you it's Black Forest ham, it's really turkey.
A lot of those slurry meats, they engineer them to come out however they want nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just color it and flavor it for different things, but it's almost everything you get at a Subway is all just turkey.
No, they don't care because they're taking meat lovers. Ape, you're up. No, I'm up on first on this one. Kitchen sink versus Mediterranean. So you want just like the Supreme pizza. Usually has like, I don't know, what do they usually put on Supreme? A lot of times the Supreme is like all veggies though, but
it's like olives, banana peppers, sausage,
green peppers, red peppers.
We're talking about meats and veggies. You're just piling a bunch of stuff on there versus a Mediterranean. A lot of times I'll see Mediterranean. They'll have like sun-dried tomatoes, black olives, feta cheese, spinach, a little bit lighter. I'm going to go Mediterranean all the way. I'm not a big kitchen. I don't like just a ton of shit on the pizza. It never cooks. The stuff is like raw. The bottom's soggy. It's just, if you're really into that kind of stuff, I guess, I don't know, but not for me. Taters.
Anything with sun-dried tomatoes is a win. And the Supreme pizza gets all soggy.
G?
Well, sogginess is what I'm talking about. So what are you talking about with this Mediterranean? Because it's not gyro meat, I don't think.
No, it's not. There's no meat on it usually. We do them, and we just use sun-dried tomatoes, black olives, spinach, and feta cheese, sprinkled with feta and Parmesan.
All right. Well, I'd eat that, I guess, but like you say, for all the reasons you guys said, eat wet pizzas. Maybe the next day when you're putting it in a toaster oven, but I'm not going to buy a pizza that's all wet just so that I can let it sit overnight to get cold and not wet, so I can put it in and try it out.
It's hard to reheat pizza too, unless you have like one of the pizza stones.
Oh hell no! Pizza toaster oven. Just put it on the rack. Any of the garbage pizzas are way better the second day in a toaster oven because it actually gets that cheese cooked. But you can actually salvage, like if you have a party or you like take home pizza from a place because nobody ate the supreme because like you say it's gross. You take it home because it's all wet and the box is wet and everything. Put it in your refrigerator though, let it get all cold. Put that thing in a toaster oven, and that'll dry it out. And then it's almost crispy. Not crispy, but at least it'll dry it out. It's on a regular piece of pizza crispy though. Oh yeah.
All right. Ape. Not that it matters.
No, it doesn't. Thanks for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I've had this Mediterranean pizza before. It's okay, but I just got to go with Supreme.
You had him at banana peppers.
No. How many times have I told you that? Leave my bananas
out?
That's
you said banana peppers, and his tail got all squirrely. He was in.
My tail does not get squirrely.
Apes don't have tails. Come on.
I'm a monkey. Ape, you're up first. Margarita versus the G-Web Special. Super cheese.
What was the margarita again?
Tomato, basil, and usually fresh mozzarella.
You know what? I am going to have to go with the super cheese.
But the mozzarella where you just take and you slice like a coffee cup or like cup holders, or what should I say, a coaster sized piece of mozzarella and 3 of them on there.
Yeah, and it kind of melts out. Yep. That's how I like to do it.
Well, that's the original pizza.
Mm-hmm. Buffalo Mozz. G?
3 cheese over old fashioned traditional pizza.
Taters?
Anything with basil is a win. I like tomato and basil. Cheese pizza is good too, but margarita.
I gotta go with traditional, because I like the sauce. I like sauce more than I like, and the margarita usually doesn't have sauce on it. A lot of times it just has the cheese and the ingredients. So I'm gonna go with 3 cheese, 4 cheese, 5 cheese, whatever. All right.
Super cheese.
Super cheese. Okay, up to the top again. Tomato and broccoli versus barbecue chicken. I think I'm not a huge sweet person when it comes to pizzas. Like barbecue sauce tends to be a little sweet. But I think I'm going to go with barbecue chicken pizza anyway. Taters?
Barbecue chicken.
G? No chicken.
Well, obviously no chicken, so screw that crap. But if you were actually making food that was worth something, you wouldn't need to wipe it all over a pizza. So if your barbecue's so good, then what do you have to wipe it on a pizza for? And if your chicken's so good, like go make it fried or whatever. Like leave a pizza alone. We're actual toppings and none of this Yahoo business trying to impress a little kid. Hey, it's your birthday. We're putting barbecue ribs on the pizza today.
So angry about barbecue chicken pizza.
One of them fake like novelty pizzas the Pizza Hut came up with. It's so corporate. Like, oh, barbecue works. Next it's like, I don't know.
Broccoli chicken Alfredo pizza.
Funfetti cake pizza.
Yeah, there you go.
the bloomin' onion pizza or like whatever.
There you go. Ooh, that would be good if you took a bloomin' onion and broke it all up, sprinkled on the top.
On pizza is good.
All right. I might be the most horrible person in existence, but I've never had a bloomin' onion.
I had one years ago.
I never ate one. I've only ever seen them. I never go to those kind of restaurants.
Isn't it basically just like onion rings minus the ring?
No.
No, they don't do it in a batter. It doesn't get battered. They just do it in like a seasoned. I don't think it gets battered.
Yeah, it's just seasoned.
I thought they dip it in. No, then I don't even want one. I thought they dipped it in batter and then you just ate them like onion fingers.
Yeah, you do. You eat them like that, but it's not like a thick batter like an onion ring is. It's lighter. I like an onion ring better because I like onions that are cooked more. Like I don't like the onions to still be like real crunchy when I do like onion rings or something. So
I figured that was just more of a novelty to get people, like if you're trying to hook up with a chick and you want to touch her hand, that's like you're not going to buy onion rings. You're never going to, that gives you an opportunity to like pick off an onion and feed it to her. I don't know if you're going to feed her an onion ring, but it gives you an opportunity to like
in her mouth. Yeah, you could also, but on
so romantic. But I'm just saying, it gives you an opportunity to like get involved with the people at the table and like a pizza, as opposed to everybody, or like a family style food, as opposed to everybody just eating one entree.
Maybe I'm weird, but fuck that. There's too many germs.
Okay, you never ate pizza, or you never went to. How about this? When you go to a Chinese food place, right? Do you, when like with your family, with your kids and stuff, does everybody just order a thing and it comes to your plate in front of you, or does it come family style and there's like bowls of it on the table and everybody spoons out whatever they want?
No, we each get our own thing. My kids are in elementary school, and I feel like all children walk around licking doorknobs all day, and there's no way. Nope. Screw that.
Ape, white with broccoli and tomato, or barbecue chicken?
Oh, barbecue chicken all the way.
She's getting angry. Chicken on a pizza. Mushroom and onion versus sausage. Ape.
Ooh, getting into some tough ones now. I'm going to have to go with mushroom and onion.
G?
Pants just blew my mind over there. Holy crap.
Yeah, how about it?
What's the options?
Mushroom and onion or sausage?
Oh, obviously mushroom.
Potatoes?
Mushroom and onion.
Oh my gosh. Mushroom and onion wins.
I've had sausage that were gross, like little balls that were not even, they could have been hamburger. Like they didn't have any flavor at all. I'll bet you that's how sausage is too. Because back in the day when I ate sausages, they were already gross. I'll bet you now they're just like bland, right? Because I can remember olden days when you go to an actual Italian restaurant when I was a little kid in the 70s, like that sausage would knock you down sometimes. It was so spicy.
Yeah, really hot. Like lots of lots of chilies, lots of pepper.
Peppery, not like hot sauce, but like
right.
Super flavorful. It wasn't, but I mean, it was just, it would make your eyes water, and it was like you knew you were eating pizza. You went there to get that like salty cheese, the oil, grease or whatever, mixed with that sausage, and then that water bread or whatever that crust is. You know what I'm talking about? What do we call that crust? Is it water crust?
Doughy crust?
No, not with thin. If we're eating thin pizzas in Chicago, it's cracker. It's some sort of a long gluten cracker, like a big oven with giant rock oven or a pizza oven, super hot, and it gets super crispy.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Pizza Hut can't even come near what a real thin crust pizza is like. But we would consider those appetizers while we were waiting for the real pizza.
You guys know there's a Detroit style deep dish?
Oh my gosh.
So is that extra lead and mercury mixed into the water with the dough?
No, it's
no, it's garbage and it's square and it tastes like crap and it's greasy. It's Little Caesars deep dish. That's literally Detroit style pizza and it sucks.
What I understand is it's square because they were making them in the factories out of some kind of a machine process or some kind of a machine, and then that's where they were like, "Hey, we could make a food in here," and they were cooking food as it went through some part of some process.
I think they were using some sort of. I think they repurposed some sort of what the pans they were using were not food pans; they were something else, and they repurposed them.
Yeah, oil pans maybe or something, exactly. And then that's why
something like that. And they suck. It sucks. It's greasy and it doesn't taste good. And it's all dough.
So it's basically like a not very good cake with like a little frosting thick layer of pizza.
Yeah. It is literally Little Caesars deep dish and it sucks.
Bite, sip, sip. $5 Mambo.
Who's up first on this one?
I think he's on second.
Because the next one is Mushroom and Onion 1. Chicken Bacon Ranch versus Meat Lovers.
I'll give 8 my vote.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
Can I get
Meat
it with
lover.
no ranch?
Nope.
No, I can't get it with no ranch?
Nope.
Ugh.
No substitutions. It says at the bottom of this thing.
It says at the bottom of the menu right there.
No substitutions. No exchanges, no refunds, no returns.
Well, it's not a substitution. It's just hold the sauce.
No omissions. No changes.
You're substituting the sauce for nothingness.
All right, I give 8 my vote.
Wow, I just browbeated the chat into forfeiting their votes. Why am I not
chat?
Politics.
Well, what are you picking? What's going to win? It's all up to you.
I have the power.
When one dude has 75% of the votes, it's not,
Wait, when did I become a Democrat?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's chicken bacon ranch with bacon, the food of the gods, and mushroom and onion.
No, Meat Lovers.
Meat Lovers.
What?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry. I was trying to get the outro kind of.
I thought you were putting mushroom and onions onto the barbecue chicken thing. I'm like, but no.
Well. And Meat Lovers, the carnivore's delight. I'm going to have to go with the chicken, the bacon, and the ranch.
You're up first on this one. Mediterranean or 3 cheese? G-Web's special.
I'm going to have to go with the super cheese.
You could just write anything down. We can't see none of this. I don't think we ever even saw the bracket.
Let me see. What finger do you think I'm holding up behind the bracket?
It'll be like
in your belly.
Be like candy cane 1. What?
It's the TARDIS. The TARDIS is going to win. You know that.
Peanut butter.
G, you're up. Yeah. Mediterranean or 3 cheese? This is a tough one. Dead Horse says 3 cheeses so 1980s. They have 4 cheese pizzas now.
Well, I thought it was like 60 cheese.
99 cheese pizza. According to the Ninja Turtles.
That's a lot of mold.
Yeah. Mediterranean or 3 cheese pizza? G, you're up. Maybe he's walking the dog. Oh, there he is.
3 cheese.
3 cheese. Tater?
Cheese.
Cheese. I would probably take a cheese too, probably. All right. Down and dirty. Barbecue chicken pizza versus mushroom and onion. I'm going to go. Barbecue chicken. Taters?
Mushroom and onion.
G?
He's going to pick mushroom and onion.
What's the other option?
They have
one that you don't want? Barbecue chicken?
Oh, yeah, mushroom and onion. But can we cook it in a way that there's an aspic in like whipped cream mold in the middle? Like,
what is
do you
that?
Want...
It looks like flan.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, let's make a pizza, except that's aspic. So I don't know what's in there, like some sort of gross custard with aspic, and then pizza around.
Is it flan?
No, it said is something with aspic, so it's got to be something savory. I don't know what it would be. It looks like
I love flan.
It does, or it looks like cream. Like, what am I trying to say? Like cheesecake or something, maybe.
I was going to say, I wonder if it's an Italian, like a Italian cream, Italian cheesecake with that they use like ricotta in or something.
Oh no, I'm wrong. It is flan. It says cream caramel.
Oh, I love
creme caramel is flan, yeah.
Of a thing. But then what if you had to melt? What if you had to put aspic over this whole thing? So the whole thing was umbrella.
Pizza and dessert right there.
Dude, I'd do a lot for some flan.
Yeah.
I love flan.
And at once, I don't think it was made right.
Taters, mushroom and onion, or barbecue chicken?
Mushroom
we already did you, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So, Ape, sorry.
I'm going to have to divide the community and make us go to the chat once again because I'm going chicken. So for those of you out in the chat, since I see a couple haven't been paying attention, it's mushroom and onion and barbecue chicken. Do 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 do.
Seven Wonders. That's a kitchen sink right there.
Corn.
Meat lovers with. I've had corn on a pizza. It's pretty good.
Corn on a pizza? Come on. Again, if you got to do stuff like that, you're either being like you're showing off, or there's something wrong with your pizza because you're trying to.
I was outside the country at the time. It wasn't even in the U.S.
That's not even pizza.
A likely story.
Yeah.
Yeah. One
Dead horse is saying mushroom and onion. And barbecue chicken. Mushroom and onion. Mushroom and onion is leading. 2-1. They're chatting, but they're not voting.
Japan does a lot of weird shit, so just saying.
And we're gonna stop it. Mushroom and onion wins it. Chicken bacon ranch or cheese? Ape?
I'm going to have to go with the product of a cow, the product of a pig, and the product of a chicken.
G? Never chicken?
Well, yeah, never chicken. But what are they doing? They're taking a chunk of chicken meat and then they're slicing it and giving you chunks of sliced, or are they cubing it? Or are
usually it's cooked and then diced and then put on top.
Diced? Oh my god, you are crazy. No way. How could you even want to eat something that's bread with diced chicken on top?
Does it taste good?
You mean like a sandwich?
Well, it's an open face sandwich.
Calzones are sandwiches. Now, if you were technical, when you fold your New York style pizza, you've turned it into a sandwich. So technically, the ATF would classify that as a sandwich once you've gone through the act of folding.
Yeah, you can't do that. You gotta pay a stamp for that.
Only if the length of pull is over 13 1/2 inches.
You've got to get an opinion letter too.
Well, I've heard if the angle of the slice is less than 32 degrees, then it's not technically a slice; it's a quarter pizza. So then it's long enough. Something.
I would absolutely keep an opinion letter with that slice, though.
But that's why so many people don't like certain pizzas, because of the grip angle of the pizza when you have a weird angle like that.
When you fold it like that, yeah, it's like, come on, that's like Grandpa used to fold it.
Yeah,
you gotta
it's
try
reliable.
At least 7 times. Gotta be folded.
It's very reliable, but some people still don't like them.
Mm-hmm. And Psycho calzones are not overpriced Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets are a semi-necessary evil.
When they're growing calzones, right, in the calzone farms, Hot Pockets are their poops that come out underneath and they spit.
Well, I just thought they were like the calzone. They wait for the calzone to start budding, then they put like a little rectangular box over it so it fills out into an easily packable and transferable size.
Like they do with watermelons?
Yeah.
I do that with tomatoes, so I don't have to cut a round thing all the time.
So we got one of each. Taters?
What are the options again?
Chicken Bacon Ranch and the G-Web Super Cheese.
Cheese.
Snap.
I gotta send it to the chat. I'm gonna put goo. All right, vote now.
Do you count all them other votes or something, or are you just going to count the votes in between go and stop?
Nope, go and stop.
Dead Horse is saying double cheese.
He's voting cheese twice. We're only going to count one. Sorry.
This is an early voting. You can't just write in your grandpa.
I'm just thinking bacon ranch. Number one, it's chicken bacon ranch. So the bacon ranch are flavorings to the chicken. So it's going to be this chicken garbage, diced chicken garbage, and then just that could easily be like soy bacon product and just sprinkled over like crunchy little soy bacon product. You guys,
so far we're tied with bacon, and nope, Super Cheese is pulled ahead by 1 vote.
Oh boy. Let's give it another minute. I'm a little bit surprised. Super cheese,
what happens is
bacon.
all these cute chicken eaters can't get their arms up to the keyboard to vote for it.
From all the salmonella.
No, the cheese people are asleep because they're having their cheese snooze.
Well, they're stuck in the bathroom.
Well, cheese will do that to you.
I don't know. This might be it. I see 3. Whoa. All right, I guess we'll go with cheese. That's surprising.
Not surprising. Pizza's simple. Simple is better.
And you know what? You saying simple is better kind of goes along with the last two. This is the final. And it's 2 super simple pizzas. It's a mushroom and onion or a 3 cheese.
Oh, yeah. See?
And it's kind of funny that all those crazy ones got beat out. I guess it's just the way the bracket happens sometimes, you know? Like you'd think it would be pepperoni and cheese or sausage or something at the end, but it's not. So cheese or mushroom and onion? See, I will pick on the condition that the mushroom is cooked ahead of time. Yeah, it happens.
No, everybody's
yeah, it's okay. I will pick mushroom and onion as long as the onion's cooked enough, you know? I don't like a raw onion on top. I like it cooked ahead of time a little bit, get it nice and sweet. So mushroom and onion for me. Taters?
Mushroom and onion. I love mushrooms.
Yeah.
you're in a big hurry. You couldn't even like finish his sentence. So they're saying that they don't think it's fair. We know it's not fair. He's in the pocket of Big Pizza. We all know that. This is just a blatant ploy to exploit pizza. Mushroom and onion. I like mushroom and green pepper better, but it's going to be mushroom. So mushroom.
All right. Ape?
You know, I am just tempted to vote for the Super Ultra Deluxe Slim Jim pizza, but I will agree with the mushroom and onions as long as they're like maybe a little sauteed first.
That's how I like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like I'm not a big raw onion fan either. Yeah, that's it. Mushroom and onion.
But if they're just sitting on top, so you put your bread, your sauce, your cheese, then your onions sliding on top of that, right? And then you cook it enough, those onions are coming out cooked.
They're coming out fried in cheese oil.
Well, I don't know about that, but definitely, not raw anymore. Like if you cook the pizza to where I'm talking, having it cooked, like those pizzas don't have a chance. They're coming out.
I think it depends too how thick you cut the onions too. Like a little bit thinner, I'd prefer that too, rather than like big honking chunks.
For sure.
And like that up evenly distributed.
I'll go along with that. So all right.
I think all of these depend on the person putting it together has to have eaten that kind of pizza before, or
understand what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least somebody put some thought into it, and it wasn't just like, well, we've got this food here. What combinations can we make into pizzas?
Yep. So that's it. We've solved one more of the world's problems. One less problem for people when they go out. They know that they should get a mushroom and onion pizza. Make sure that the onion's cooked.
This is a nice service for all those young couples out there where it's like, what are we going to have? What kind of pizza should we have? They don't have to make that decision. Now you've made that for them.
Right. I mean, this is life-changing stuff. They can go back to eating Tide Pods and doing whatever else we're doing. They couldn't figure out.
Snorting condoms.
That's right. If they couldn't figure out what kind of pizza to get, God knows what the hell else they were going to try and figure out. So that's it. And that's the show. We're going to get out of here and get to bed, get some sleep. Got to get up in the morning. So, Taters, you got anything going on after this? G, you going to do a van chat or something?
Yeah, normally it's scheduled for 2 hours ago, but thanks for pushing it 2 hours for everybody.
No problem. That's how I do. This was actually supposed to be like an hour. I really did want to make this quick tonight because I'm not feeling well, but it didn't really happen. Dead Horse says, whatever. When you ask the wife what kind of pizza she wants, and she says, whatever you want. Yeah, right. That works out awesome every single time. That always turns into what do you want? I don't care. Well, why don't you care? Because I don't care. Well, why don't you care? It'll turn into a fight. And I really don't care what kind of pizza I eat. Taters, you got anything going on?
Nope, not really. Support your local Chinese restaurants.
There you go. And Matthew Johnson says it is the morning.
No, morning is the point in time right after you wake up, but before lunch.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so you didn't go to bed yet, so it's not morning, right? Yeah. Technically, I'll go along with that. Yeah. He needs to ask her, what kind of pizza do I want? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're talking about pizza on Instagram. All right, Ape, you want to do the outro? We'll get the hell out of here and get some sleep. G can do the band chat. You guys pop over there and see what the hell's going on with G. How's the pup, G?
Oh, shit. I forgot her in Missouri. I have to run back real quick.
Again?
You see, this is why she doesn't want to cuddle.
Yeah. Poor little girl.
You're gonna have to get a whole big semi-trailer full of butter to get her to even talk to you again.
I'll just leave like a little cube of butter as I drive.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find some way of just feeding the sticks in and just having a little knife go and every so often.
Tossing them over his shoulder.
Oh, there you go. Like one of them things for tossing salt or whatever. They had some kind of little thingy like that. Just stick butter in there instead of salt.
Yeah.
All right.
Let it rip, man. Let's get out of here.
Ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. Be sure to check out gunchannels.com for more Pro 2A content. Now, stay tuned for your website's van chat right after this. Keep an ear out for Black Cat Outdoors, lunchtime, and Litterbox chats. Our Monday night programming at 8 p.m. Eastern, Clover Tech's MOA Monday, which may or may not be on his secondary channel, Clover Tech, or more than likely will be, I don't know, is he trying to multicast again onto infinite number of...
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, also at 8 p.m. Eastern, it's Hawaii Volcano Squad's Locked and Loaded. At 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Never Enough Ammo, a.k.a. Mr. Matt's Guns and Geeks podcast, The Week in Geek. At 11 p.m. Eastern, it's the Outlaw Hatfield's Monday Night Shootout. And every weeknight at midnight Eastern, it's the Daily Gun Show. Remember to be on the lookout for Ellis the Degenerate, a.k.a. the Outlaw Hatfield's late night and sometimes early morning chats. Also, check out GunTube.org as a free and unrestricted Pro 2A video platform. If you like what you see over there, go to Patreon and help support the platform. Check out 247gunshow.com. It's free to sell for gunchannels.com members, and anyone can buy. For cool and unique 2A swag, go over to gearwebsites.com. Help put gas back into the van's tanks. And remember, a hot dog is a sandwich. Slim Jim is candy, and keep your guns earled and your chambers loaded.
There we go. Thank you very much. Dead Horse is throwing up cook-off challenges over there on Instagram. It says, pretty sure we need a Gun Channels live cook-off and see once and for all who's the best chef. I've said that before, I think. Yeah, that would be a fun Tulsa thing. But yeah, I always thought that I've said that before, that it would be kind of neat to do, give everybody a small list of ingredients and have everybody make a dish out of it, almost like a mystery basket kind of thing. That'd be kind of neat.
And the surprise ingredients are like a raccoon or like an octopus or like aspic or something.
I was gonna say a bunch of bones.
So it's going to be Iron Chef Gun Channels edition.
Yeah. Good. All right, let's call it a night. You go over to Van Chat, check out G if he's going to go live here, and if not, check him out tomorrow night on the Daily Gun Show. You gonna have a gun show tomorrow, G?
Yes.
Any particular topic?
An interesting one.
Oh, those are the best ones. Very cool. So, when do you think you'll have Gear website? Gear websites, the patch store up and running again soon?
I wanted it to be this weekend, so yeah, as soon as I have time to do it, I'll put it back together. For sure. Yeah. I've slowly been adding some stuff. Like I added some patches for Every Second Mattered. A couple people bought patches. So added those back. I'm trying to do inventory before I turn it back on.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of have time to do it all.
Mm-hmm. Butter pizza. Cool. Yeah, let us know, man. For sure. So thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye, Felicia.